You think you'll win the MVP this year?
I already have my MVP.
But the awards don't get announced until later. Well, what do you mean?
I mean, most valuable policy.
From who, Saquon?
Who do you think? Cure Auto Insurance. Take it from me. They're the cure.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Your local Meineke cares about you and your family, so we're offering full synthetic oil changes for $59.95 plus free tire rotation. We'll also check tire pressures and brakes too. Over 50 years of service, value, and trust. That's Meineke.
Welcome back to Xfinity Mobile Arena. Boosh, how about those starting goaltenders?
Yeah, two familiar faces facing off against one another tonight. Ilya Sorokin, this is his 6th season for the New York Islanders, 125 wins in his career. He's durable, he's consistent, and he's looking to sharpen things up here in the preseason for the Islanders. And for the Flyers, Sam Ersson making his 3rd and final appearance of the preseason. His 2nd full game. I'd say it's been a bit of a uneven preseason for Sam. He's looking to sharpen things up before he hands that game on Saturday over to Dan Vladar. So let's see if Ersson can have a good one here in his finale.
They arrived in Philadelphia as kids, but the Flyers to Travi, Messrs. Sanheim and Connect, they are now part of the veteran leadership group, and they're hoping to also perhaps be part of Canada's Olympic team this year. They'll both be on the ice as the Flyers and Islanders face off when we return.
Welcome to NBC 10 News Today.
The most accurate weather forecast certified by WeatherRate.
Thunderstorms going to overtake the area.
Breaking news.
Reporting live in Camden County.
That's right, Aaron. We've been following the story all night long.
The day's top stories.
This is going to impact teachers and students.
Sheila's going to tell us which roads not to take.
No matter where you are, every weekday morning. NBC 10 News Today. Count on it.
Congratulations on your new Nissan.
Thank you. This deal's for the birds.
You say birds? Let's go! Whoa!
Hey, what are you doing?
You said to get excited when we sell a new car.
No, our customers will be excited for our new sales event.
Sales event.
You'll get excited over the savings this season at Woodbury Nissan. Choose a new Sentra or Kicks for just $139 a month.
Save all season long with our winning team here at Woodbury Nissan.
Go Bears!
Preseason game number 6. Just one more. That's on Saturday afternoon. This is probably as close to the Flyers' opening night lineup as you're going to see during this preseason. And that includes this guy, Boosh, Trevor Zegras, who has certainly shown off his skill in the practices and early preseason games. The skill level of the Flyer forward group certainly has gone up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you see him playing with Michkov, it gets you excited, doesn't it? Whether it's at 5-on-5 or on the power play. No doubt that Zegras, I think, is looking forward to a fresh start here in Philadelphia. I've liked his preseason so far, and I'm sure he's looking to finish strong here in the preseason before he gets ready for that season opener in Florida.
Zegras, Michkov, Tippett scheduled to be a trio here tonight. That should be fascinating to watch. Lots of offensive talent on that line. Right now, though, starting the game, the trio that we saw so much last year, Noah Cates, Tyson Forster, Bobby Brink. They've already impressed their new head coach, as they did their former head coach, and expected to be aligned when the season begins. Islanders with a pretty solid lineup here tonight, missing just a couple of regulars, including Bo Horvat and Al Palmieri, but a lot of regulars playing as well. as these teams getting into shape now for the regular season. Puck comes back toward the point. The Flyers able to gather it, and Jamie Drysdale will glove it. Send it through centers, knocked down, and now the Islanders get it back. 49 is Max Shabanov, who was rumored to be a Flyer in waiting, but ended up signing with the Islanders instead out of the KHL. Was a better than point-a-game player in the KHL last year. Diminutive forward. There he is with the puck. He's very quick. He'll move the puck to Simon Holmstrom, who tries to get it back to Shabanov, but it's cut off. But there's a penalty. John Couturier collided with Holmstrom. Holmstrom went down. Couturier will go to the box.
So the Islanders with the first power play of the game as Couturier.
Number 14, 2 minutes, tripping.
It's the gate for tripping, as Garrett Rank just announced. See the legs, the left leg of Couturier kind of clips Holmstrom. Couturier pleading his innocence, but some PK work early on here for the Flyers.
And power play work for the Islanders. The Islanders' special teams last year were the worst in the NHL. And you add power play and the penalty kill together, we call it the special teams quotient. They were at the very bottom. They're going to want to improve on that. Garnet Hathaway clears the puck all the way down right off the face-off. Back to get the puck is 18-year-old. He just turned 18. Matthew Schaefer, the first overall pick in June's draft. And those who follow the team say he has pretty much made the club. It looks like to start the season with the Islanders. He'll probably be the youngest player in the NHL, and he's got a lot of talent, but that's an awfully young player. Here's Christian Dvorak trying to pull away with a short-handed bit. He's got the puck in on goal, drops it back, Sanheim scores! What a setup from Dvorak. Sanheim, the short-handed goal, 1-0 Philadelphia.
What a heads-up play here by Christian Dvorak, and give Travis Sanheim some credit. Dvorak jumps the wall, able to intercept the puck, and you can just about bet that Sanheim is screaming to let Dvorak know that he's coming, because at no point did Dvorak take a look back, yet he made the drop pass, and no chance for Sorokin, who, if I'm a goaltender, there's no way I'm thinking a guy on a breakaway is going to make a drop pass like that, yet Dvorak did, and the Flyers strike first shorthanded.
That's one of those plays, Bush, that looks great once the puck's in the net.
Yeah.
But if Sanheim doesn't finish, we're saying, what is he doing passing the puck there? But Dvorak had the confidence to make the play. Sanheim finishes it, his second goal of the preseason. And the Flyers, with a short-handed goal, have the early lead. Holmstrom back to the point. Set deep off the side of the net. And it comes back out to the point. It's Adam Boquist. Cross ice could not be handled by Max Siplikoff, and it's cleared all the way down by Philadelphia. The Flyers, the penalty kill in the preseason at 81.8%. They've killed off 9 of 11 enemy man advantages. As the puck goes across to Shabanov. He slams on the brakes. Drops it around behind the net. It makes it through to Siplikoff. He's checked quickly, though. Tippett is there. He's cleared, deflects right across the slot area, and Shabanov will jump on it. Pursued by Cam York. Sends it back around, and there's Holmstrom at the point. His attempt to get it deep is tipped and then grabbed by Sanheim, who clears the zone.
One thing I like with Rick Tocchet and the penalty kill is he's got Owen Tippett doing some penalty killing, which I think is a good thing. I think the one thing about Tippett that maybe people think is that, you know, his defensive game maybe lacks a bit, but getting on the PK can bring more responsibility, get him out there more often, and get him more touches.
Flyers kill it off, and then Harrison has to make his save, and a shot just as Couturier left the penalty box.
Good save there by Harrison on the redirect. But the penalty kill strikes first. Dvorak with a good job jumping the play, and then eyes behind his head as he finds Sanheim, and you can see Schaefer really not expecting that drop pass to occur, because he didn't even take a look at Sanheim himself. And there's a good save by Harrison. So a little bit of lackadaisical play by the Islanders on the power play leads to a goal against, and Harrison with a good first save of the hockey game.
Sanheim, the goal. Dvorak, his third assist of this preseason, and only his third preseason game. He's a guy who put up some really good numbers in junior hockey, and he's known as a versatile guy and very solid defensively and on faceoffs, but he does have some skill. In fact, has played some with Michkov and Zegras in training camp, and has looked good. There's another save by Harrison on that shot from right about the top of the circle. Alexander Romanov. There's a couple of good saves early as he probably plays his last hockey of the preseason. Zegras will send it this way. Tracking it down is Anders Lee, the captain, longtime captain of the Islanders. Get it down low to Scott Mayfield, the defenseman, trying to center it. It was knocked aside at the side of the cage and then poked out to center. Mayfield gets it back in. Islanders are offside. So
Zamula has no steel on his skates.
One-footedly, as Doc Hemrick used to say, going back to the bench.
I promise he knows how to skate. He just doesn't have any steel.
It's a little tough. A lot of guys can't make it back. They need some help. Flyers on the forecheck now. Nikita Grabenkin, another of their young prospects. He may have made this team too. Certainly got a chance. He's had a good camp. This kind of guy, Bush, you notice pretty much every time he's out there, he's doing something to get noticed. Here's Couturier blasting. And a save by Sorokin through the screen set up as Grabenkin tried to provide that path. Try to distract the goaltender. Sealer keeps it in. Pops it up in the air. Konechny for Couturier. Right back along for TK, but he couldn't come up with it. Siplikoff the other way for the Islanders, 2-on-2. And he'll just finesse that into the Flyers zone. Grabenkin getting to play with Konechny and Couturier tonight.
Yeah, a great opportunity for him. And I think he's opened up some eyes here in training camp. I don't think a lot of people had him penciled in as a guy that was going to be making the team, but he's sturdy. He goes to the hard areas. He's got a pretty good skill set. And right now, he's put himself in a good position to make this opening night roster.
Islanders in their own zone as the Brink line goes to work. On the forecheck, they're so good at it. Cates, after Brink knocked the puck away. Into the corner, Tyson Foerster on only his second game as he's recovering from that elbow injury. Across it comes to York. York a wrist shot, and that one rode high off the glass. Foerster after it. Shields Heidemann away from it. Got the puck to Brink. Zigs and zags to get some freedom. Back across it goes Sanheim. Plays it in deep. York is there to Cates. Cates behind the net, looking for an outlet. He'll swing it back out to Sanheim and across for Brink. He is checked by Mayfield, wrapped up over there, but there's the support from Foerster. He tried to get it back to Brink, but he was still tied up. But again, this line recovers the puck. Brink trying to get it along to Dvorak as the Flyers are now in the middle of a change. And finally, the Islanders get the puck free.
Outstanding shift from that trio of Cates, Brink, and Foerster once again, picking up where they left off last year. You mentioned it. I mean, the support and the puck battles won.
They're clinical.
Unbelievable, yeah. They really are.
Now another line trying to emulate them is Hathaway trying to get after that puck. Nick Delorier hit in the corner, but escaping is the veteran Jean-Gabriel Pajot. And he'll move up with it and from the red line shovel it into the Philadelphia zone. 6.5 minutes in. Glad you could join us. Flyers with a short-handed goal from Travis Sanheim. They have the early lead. Sam Harrison's going to hop on that puck, and so we can step aside. But some early flash from the Flyers. Dvorak, the setup for Sanheim to give the Flyers the lead.
Christina Ladd posted at McDonald's, thinking about how I never had a snack wrap, and I'm devastated. Imagine tasting the snack wrap for the very first time. In ranch or spicy?
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
You're already struggling to pay the bills. Now imagine a 10% tax on groceries, clothes, school supplies, 10% on everything you buy. That's what Jack Chitterelli is talking about for New Jersey.
The 10% sales tax on everything, including food and clothing.
The same Chitterelli who voted to raise property taxes and wrote a plan that could have raised income taxes.
The 10% sales tax on everything.
High tax Jack. If he's governor, it's gonna cost you.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Eat like an early riser with an iced coffee for $1 and pair it with a bagel sandwich.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Well, last year, a great development was the formation of this line. Cates, Brink, and Forster, and the work that they do. And look, whenever you see them in the offensive zone, you'll always see three sweaters near each other. Forster does a terrific job of using his big frame to protect pucks, and Brink is always plays above his weight class as far as battles are concerned, and a real good first shift for these guys together, as they had an early penalty kill, and that was their first full regular 5-on-5 shift, and the numbers don't lie. Expected goals percentage leaders, and they're right near the very top. I mean, that Nyes, Matthews, Marner line
is no more.
Yeah, right. It is no more, but you would say would be elite, but yet that trio was right near them. So hopefully that continues this year.
And you know, maybe a little more finish. Tyson Forster really ended the season on a run, and Tyson will tell you he just wants to get off to a good start. He's had a little trouble in that area offensively. His game is always solid, but just putting the puck in the net sometimes early in seasons has been a challenge for him, so he's really concentrating on the start to this season.
And think about last year. Kate started the season as a healthy scratch, right?
Yeah.
And turned out to be one of the top contributors as far as lines are concerned. So hopefully those guys pick up where they left off, and all three of them have a solid year.
Saved by Ersson. I'm not sure if that was deflected in front by Shabanov. Either way, Sam took care of it. Here's Delorier dropping it back for Nick Seeler. Nick on his 8th year and 5th already here in Philadelphia after he resurrected his career. Now the Islanders move up. Atcomb on the left wing for Casey Cizikas. He is quickly checked. Yegor Zamula to the puck. Go back out to the point. Mayfield's shot went wide of a screened Ersson. Back out deep by Schaefer, but the Flyers are there. That was Adam Yinning, number 13. Formerly known as Adam Ginning, but he has told us this year it's going to be Yinning. And he's having a good camp push. He might make this team.
He has been solid, that is for sure. And if he wants Yinning, we will give him Yinning.
Yeah, we give him whatever they want.
Whatever they want.
That's the proper pronunciation.
It sounds right when you're thinking about Swedish? Yeah,
it does, yeah. Actually, I was told by some Swedes that that's what it was. Here's Grebaikin right up the middle with a shot and a save made by Sorokin. And again, the scouting report on Grebaikin is that if he has a weakness, it's his skating. I just haven't seen it.
Don't see it. No, not there.
He is absolutely able to get to where he wants to go. Here's Sanheim up the wall. Couturier with some help. Grebaikin got it ahead to Konechny. Konechny trying to cut to the middle, but he's stripped by Roquist. Recovered though by Grebaikin. Return at the line, send it down low, hoping to get it to Couturier, but it's cut off by Matthew Barzal, who's such a key player for this Islanders team. Only appeared in 30 games last year due to upper body and knee injuries, and they have to have him if they're going to get back into the playoffs. Forster got his stick on that puck, but it is set out by the Islanders. Anthony Duclair handing off. And now dropped back by Cal Ritchie. Youngster acquired in the Brock Nelson trade from Colorado. Out it goes to Boquist and across. Romanov tried to get that deep, went off his stick and into the crowd.
Well, we talked about Grebaikin earlier in the game and how he's kind of played himself into the picture, and this is why. I mean, a nice little outside-inside move. And you mentioned it, JJ. I mean, to me, skating does not look like an issue there, as he's quick in tight areas, able to get to a real prime scoring area, and a good save by Sorokin. But Grebaikin has been a real nice surprise in this training camp and has put himself in a position to be on this team.
22 years of age. Former 5th round pick by Toronto, acquired in the Scott Lawton deal. Flyers also got a 1st round pick in 2027 in that trade. Shabanov behind the Philadelphia net. He's had the puck a lot here in the first period. Back out to Adam Pelech, the veteran defenseman. He'll float it wide on purpose. Ryan Pulock, his longtime defense partner. Send it back deep, but the Flyers have it now. It's Drysdale to Seeler. Ahead. Forced to redirected it into the Islanders zone. That line will head off the ice, except for Cates, who goes in to tie up the Islanders long enough so the change can be completed. We approach the midpoint of this first period. Islanders with 4 shots, Flyers with 3, but the Flyers have one that found the net. There's Pulock. Bring it in. They say he got the red line, so no icing. Yinning to Zamula. That one out of the reach of Nick Delorier. The Islanders have it right back, and they'll tip it to the Philadelphia line. There is Yinning, who was a 2nd round pick of the Flyers. way back in 2018. Played almost 200 AHL games and getting to make a opening night roster in the NHL for the first time. Islanders in. That shot by, well, it is batted out of play by Sam Ersson. So into the second half of period number 1 we go.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Thanks for walking us through the plan.
Have fun with Lizzie this summer.
Doors connect us to what's important. A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll help you build a personalized investment strategy. Doors were meant to be opened.
Take a ride down this week's stat sheet to vote for your Toyota Player of the Week. And tune in weekly to our sports experts for their predictions and analysis. Vote after each game on the Eagles app. Presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL.
Bryan Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits. Live at Xfinity Mobile Arena, October 29th. With special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Welcome back to NBC Sports Philadelphia. I am here with Coach Tocchet. And Coach, you talked about this being kind of a dress rehearsal for your roster. What are your impressions so far?
Yeah, pretty good. I think we got to execute a little bit more on the breakouts, missed passes, but overall the concepts we're getting good. Obviously, a shorthanded goal is great. But yeah, I like the start so far.
And so much attention this offseason has been about the new guys, the new prospects. But you talked about the potential of getting someone like Travis Sanheim to really reach a new level. What have you seen from him so far with that goal?
Yeah, he's a creative guy, right? And you know, that's he can bring personality to the team when it comes to the offensive side. You know, him and Mitch have been having chemistry in camp, so hopefully they can morph into that, and hopefully Tip can that could be a good line for us.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
JJ, send it back up to you.
Thanks, Ashley. Nice new features. We try to talk to either Toc or one of his assistant coaches in game. Toc, I think, was referring to Trevor Zegras there with that last answer, and he and Michkov have shown some chemistry. They're out there right now with Owen Tippett on this line. There's Tippett to Zegras, and from Michkov on cue, with that shot denied by Sorokin. Michkov has it back. Tried to go from the angle, but that was deflected. Zegras back to it. Gotta love when the players come through. When you talk about something. Yes. I mean, if you had scored, it would have been better, but bottom line is they showed some of that chemistry as they got the scoring chance.
Some good work on the wall there, getting the puck down low, and a good opportunity there.
Konecny check by Casey Cizikas, so Sealer has to go back and try to keep Cizikas away from it. Got it to York, who protected the puck along. Grabenkin is checked, but was able to wheel it back deep into his own zone. First to it is Pulock, around behind the net. The Islanders are set up, back out. Pelech at the point, his shot. That's knocked down in front, and now Konecny will send Zegras to center. Zegras, 24 years of age, bounces it to the left of Sorokin. Pulock is back for it. He'll start up. His pass smothered at the Philadelphia line by Zamula. And Cates able to flip it ahead. Grabenkin out there with Brink and Cates. Grabenkin at the end of his shift, so forced to replace him. Cates checked, and the puck bounces to Kyle McLean of the Devils. His father no longer an assistant coach with the Devils. Ray Bennett and Bob Boughner, new assistants. They're not the Devils, but the Islanders. Devils are Saturday, or some reasonable facsimile of the Devils will be here Saturday. But Boughner and Bennett taking over the special teams, the penalty kill and the power play respectively. As we talked about earlier, the Islanders looking for improvement in that area. This puck deflected deep into the Islanders zone. Here is Mayfield for the Islanders. 7.5, a little less than 7.5 remaining now here in this first period. Scoreboard here at the arena is not working. That shot by Shabanov knocked down by Ersson. But you guys at home are all right. got the clock
Yeah,
running.
they
But
would know. The people on their couches would have no clue. They see it's 7:07 to go.
yeah, they're like, what are you talking about? The clock's not working. What's the over/under on how many times I say the wrong name for the arena?
3.
Oh wow, I'm happy with that. I'll take that. Xfinity Mobile Arena is the new name of this building.
I said I'd take the over.
I figured you would. Here's Dvorak trying to go across to Hathaway, but it bounces over his stick after being deflected, and now the outlet pass on the money. And the Islanders move up with it. Almond charges on in, but Harrison was there as defenseman Sanheim also tried to disrupt the Islander forward. The net off its mooring, so play stop. Heineman acquired in the trade, sent Dobson to Montreal. He's an interesting forward.
Yeah, he is. Plays hard. But earlier in the couple of minutes ago, Michkov with the opportunity on the feed from Zegras. An interesting line set here that Rick Tocchet has deployed with Michkov, Zegras, and Tippett. 3 very offensively talented players. You wonder about the defensive side of it, but it is preseason, trying to see how they mesh together. Zegras and Michkov have looked awfully comfortable through practices and the prior preseason games. I really like that combination, and hopefully they can find some chemistry early on, and that confidence kind of just takes off. And if that happens, that'll be a great development. And obviously Trevor Zegras, he wants to be a center. He wants to play center. In Anaheim last year, he was playing wing with the surplus of centers that they had in Anaheim. But this is a great opportunity for him here in Philadelphia with the lack of center depth. And if he can do a job and have that chemistry with Michkov, boy, there could be something else.
Slight delay there as the officials were telling the coaches about the time clock situation. It's stuck at 9:33 here in the building, but you see 6:18 remaining here in period number 1. At home, here's Drysdale trying to get that one out in front. Garrett Rank and Carter Sandlack are your referees working this game. Dylan Blugis and Steve Barton are the linesmen. Here's Couturier's shot, knocked out in front, and Grabenkin got that shot off. He was taken down, but no call. He gets the puck back, though. Grabenkin from the angle, and Sorokin will knock that one down. Here's Konechny to Couturier. Grabenkin's in front, but that one slides on through. Boy, he goes to the blue, doesn't he?
He does. And if not for a good stick by Sorokin, that would have been a backdoor tap in.
Now he's battling for the puck along the wall. It's finally taken away by Cal Ritchie. Moved out through center. Yinning back for it. He'll get to Zamula. Yegor Zamula sends it around behind the Islander net. And a steal here. Zegras a quick pass across. Was out of the reach of Tippett. He's got it now. Drops it off for Zamula. Zamula off the mark for Michkov. Lee checked. Tippett momentarily had it back. Barzal knocked it out to center ice. Yinning tried to go cross ice to Zegras there. Zegras does well to keep that away from Barzal. Zamula for Tippett. And now ahead to Michkov. Led all rookies in the NHL in goal scoring last year. After the puck again. And Zegras will knock it away. Schaefer steps in. 18-year-old and a 20-year-old there in a battle. Michkov has the puck. Michkov all the way out Santa. Plays it off for York. York the shot fended off by Sorokin. And the Flyers forecheck has definitely yielded some dividends here with some scoring chances. Sorokin's made some saves.
Yeah, and the Tippett, Zegras, Michkov trio has done a nice job in tight areas, working plays down low. They've had a couple of good opportunities off that type of cycle play.
Outside the call at the Flyer line. 4:27 to go in period number 1.
Dear First Place, experts agree Toyota value can't be beat. Drivers agree Toyota quality rides long and strong. Add hybrid choices like no other, and you'll win the long game by a country mile. Toyota.
Get great offers on your favorite Toyota hybrids like Camry, RAV4, and Crown. Shop online and visit your nearest Tri-State Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Ooh, is this an action movie?
You're in luck, folks. They're filming a car insurance commercial today.
That explains the mascot.
Seriously, what does a shark have to do with insurance?
Stunt shark!
At NJM, we don't do mascots. We do what's right when things go wrong.
Okay, action!
Nothing blew up.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Travis Sanheim, shorthanded goal, the only goal here in the first period. Flyers lead 1-0. Get your tickets now for all Flyers home games at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Be here for all the biggest matchups, giveaways, rivalry games, and more this season. Get your tickets at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. First overall pick in last year's draft, or this summer's draft, Matthew Schaefer. An egregious turnover here on the pressure by Matvei Michkov. And truthfully, not even the biggest of pressures, yet a bit of a panic play for the youngster there. Get those plays out of the way now in the preseason. You don't want to see that if he's going to be on the opening night roster, but certainly need a little bit more poise than that when you're on the back end.
He's supremely talented, Bush, and very mature for his age off the ice. Many hockey fans know the story. Lost his mom, and is just rave reviews about him as a kid, his maturity and everything, but he's still just turned 18 and had only 17 games last year due to that broken clavicle that he suffered in the World Juniors. So he really hasn't had a lot of reps.
And that's what you miss, you know, the touches, the reps, you know, the necessary reps to feel comfortable. This is a big training camp for him, and I understand why they would want to keep him around, and maybe they you know, spot duty him during the start of the season because he is a talented kid. But certainly he's going to see that type of forecheck is going to present itself a lot when the regular season starts, and he's going to have to handle pressure and use his feet a little bit more to kind of escape some pressure like that and make some tape-to-tape plays. But he got away with that one there.
Presented to Toyota Rav, 4 minutes to play here in the first period. As Christian Dvorak banks that one down the ice. A wave off the icing as Boquist retrieves. It was even with 7 shots apiece. As that puck goes through center off Shabanov. Played by Ersson. Bobby Brink tips it out through center. But that one too much on it, and they're going to call it icing against Philadelphia.
Well, Rick Tocchet, a guy that knows what it's like to be a Philadelphia Flyer. Played in some big games, some big battles here in Philadelphia, and obviously a very collaborative type of head coach who uses his assistants to help him out. And at the other end of the ice, Patrick Waugh, maybe the coach with the hottest seat perhaps in the NHL. I think for him it's imperative that the Islanders get off to a good start. In an aging roster, they need to make sure that they can find a way to be a team that's relevant come springtime, be in the playoffs. You're not going to find a more competitive, decorated goaltender than Patrick.
Some feel the best to ever play the game.
Yeah, you're right, and that's me who feels that way.
And legitimately, he's one of the Mount Rushmore goalies. I think that's safe to say. But you know what I say about Patrick? You spend 90 seconds around him, and you want to go play for him.
Right. You want to go through a wall.
So much energy, yeah. And new GM with Matthew Darch taking over for Lou Lamoriello, and whenever there's a new GM and the same coach, the seat's a little hot.
It is. And listen, they have to get off to a good start in order to give themselves a chance. Injuries were a problem last year. Their specialty teams, as you mentioned, hurt them last year, but a healthy Matthew Barzal will go a long way into rectifying that.
Shabanov across, looking for either Pajot or Holmstrom. Deflect deep. Rankin stumbled, but the puck off of Sanheim and then found by Travis. Gives it to his buddy, the other Travis Konechny, but the puck deflects out of play. 2:38 to go in the period. Time to check in on our countdown to opening night. Presented by Fidelity Wealth Management. Flyers start their regular season 1 week from tonight. That's right, 1 week from tonight, down in Florida against the defending Stanley Cup champions. Can't wait. We'll have that one for you right here. And they'll see the defending Stanley Cup champions both in their season opener and in the Flyers home opener And it might be the right time to see the defending Stanley Cup champ.
No doubt about it. No Alexander Barkov, no Matthew Tkachuk.
They're going to be without Barkov for the whole year, Bush. Does that make it a challenge for them to even make the playoffs? Or
Well,
do you think,
no. They'll be fine making. Yeah, they'll be fine making the playoffs. But it's going to be a tougher road. But this team gets in the playoffs and look out. I mean, they seem like they're built for playoffs with the style that they play.
Should have Tkachuk back for that. I've been hearing rumblings about maybe Barkov in the playoffs, but don't know about that. Here's Duclair to Lee. Lee, who took a spill when these teams played in the first preseason game and was injured, an upper body injury, playing for the first time since that game here tonight. There he is looking for the deflection in front. He's so good at that, but the save made by Ersson. Puck kept in, though, by the Islanders. It's set back deep side of the net. There is Lee digging away. And Siplikov takes over. Back out to the point. Romanov is forced there by Tippett and stripped. And Tippett able to get that puck out to center ice. And then an errant pass by the Islanders, gobbled up by Konecny. He circles back. Flyers are changing. With 1:18 to play. Couturier in, holding, takes the shot. It's batted away. Back up the wall. Sealer looking for Couturier. He'll spin it to Gurbankin. Right back to the captain. Try to get it to the point, but Siplikov cut it off. One hands it ahead, and here's Barzal. Matthew Barzal, so talented. Moves in, waits, holds, drops it back out. Schaefer to Barzal across ice. That one out of the reach of Sealer. So the Islanders keep it in. Mayfield to Barzal, or make that Cizikas. He's worked on by Yinning. Bounces free to Barzal. To the side of the cage. Got it out for Schaefer. A shot is blocked. Flyers hemmed in here as Cizikas will backhand around behind the net. Sealer tried to get that through Barzal. It didn't work. He'll try this side of the ice. And there is Yinning to flutter it out through the neutral zone. A half minute to go in the period. Schaefer back on it. He can really skate. You can see it there. It's hit on the forecheck. Cut off by Yinning, and then York will play it to Gurbankin, who spins it out through center. Pajot back to retrieve for the Islanders. Both teams make one last change here in the first period. Shabanov will play it across to Pulick. And now Shabanov looking to set sail here in the final seconds of the period. Right wing feed Pajot. Back out it goes. Shot by Pellick. And Harrison with a glove save, and he'll squeeze it.
Well, there's a good entry here towards the end of this period. And Harrison, who has been strong in the first 20 minutes. Good read. Clear sight lines as Forster gets out of the way, which allows Harrison to see this puck from long range and able to snag it, but a good opening 20 for Harrison so far.
Yeah, you know, his last play before the regular season, he wants this one to be a crisp one. So far for him it is, as he stops all 9 shots fired his way, and this guy pull one in at the other end. A short-handed tally by Travis Sanheim as the Flyers up 1-0 through 20 minutes of play. Tonight's first period between the Flyers and Islanders was brought to you by your Philadelphia area Chevy dealers. Visit Chevrolet.com. Coming up between periods 1 and 2, we will remember the one, the only Bertie Parrott, who lost just a couple weeks back. And Ashland will sit down with Sean Couturier. That and more coming up when we return after these messages.
There's 10 million spins up for grabs on Hard Rock Bet Casino.
And we gotta tell everyone.
Hard Rock Bet's giving away 10 million spins!
What? Yes, literally 10 million.
It's insane.
Oh, gotta go. More spins just dropped.
Woo! 10 million spins on Hard Rock Bet! Oh, hey, Glenn.
Millions of
Who
spins.
wants cake?
I know.
My masterpiece.
10 million bonus spins up for grabs. New players get a $1,000 deposit match plus a $25 casino bonus just for signing up.
Okay, $1 million deal on the line. You got this. Recaps and sales meeting insights from all my team's calls? Otter AI. It's you who is man's best friend.
Otter, the AI meeting agent.
You want certain things in life. You want well for your family, you want well for your kids. Do you want opportunity? The people that call us suffered a tragedy. They need someone to step up for them, to help them put the pieces back together.
Lawyers with the resources and experience to fight for you.
Getting results is what we do.
Wapner Newman, the correct call.
In 1775, the Navy and Marine Corps were born in Philadelphia. And to celebrate their 250th birthday, they're coming home. Be a part of history at Homecoming 250, the National Navy and Marine Corps 250th celebration, October 9th through 16th and November 7th through 11th throughout Philadelphia and along the Camden waterfront. Don't miss the parade of Navy ships, Blue Angels flyover, an amazing parade and veterans picnic, plus spectacular concerts, demonstrations, and fireworks. Plan your visit now at homecoming250.org.
Watch this. Let's face it. What a time to be making a hockey show.
Nice. Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped.
Let them know what they're in for here.
Here we are.
How scared are you guys? How scared are you?
What keeps you motivated?
I think winning. I don't really know any different.
Welcome back to NBC Sports Philadelphia. Flyers up 1-0 here after the first period. I'm here with Christian Dvorak, and we saw that awesome pass to Travis Sanheim. I was going to ask how you're gelling with your new teammates, but it seemed like you basically read his mind on the ice. How's it been going so far?
Yeah, it's been going pretty good so far. I heard Sandy yelling up the ice, and their defender was kind of on me, so it's good communication by him, and luckily it worked out.
It definitely did, and Coach Taka just told us that this is basically a dress rehearsal for the regular season. We see you on the penalty kill. What do you believe your role is going to be with this team?
Yeah, just be a good two-way player, contribute offensively, and be good in the D-zone as well. You know, whether I have to PK or PP, I'll do whatever the team needs. So, yeah, just doing the small things, winning face-offs, things like that. So, yeah, it's a good rehearsal to get some games in here in preseason and get ready to go for next week.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the time. And, JJ, sending it back up to you.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. One more preseason game. It's Saturday, and it's a new start time. Was originally a 3 o'clock game, now 12:30 here at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. The Flyers take on the Devils. Then the games that count begin a week from tonight, Thursday, down in Sunrise. The defending Stanley Cup champions welcome the Flyers. 6:30 our coverage start time with pregame live. More in South Philly after this.
Meineke is celebrating over 50 years with full synthetic oil changes for $59.95, plus free tire rotation. We'll also check tire pressures and brakes too. For tires, brakes, batteries, exhaust, and more, trust Meineke, doing car care right.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $12,000 on this Sierra 1500 model. That's 20% below MSRP.
DraftKings Casinos combining two things I love: touchdowns and bonus rounds. And we're going deep with 1,000 slots and counting. Jackpot, baby.
New players play $5 and get 500 total spins on Huff and More Puff, plus a first day replay up to 1,000 in credits. The crown is yours.
Kyle, another clutch hit. Were you looking for that curveball?
Honestly, yeah. But I've seen nastier.
When?
When I saw my rates for car insurance go up this year.
How'd you deal with that curveball?
Easy. Cure Auto Insurance.
Sounds too good to be true.
Trust me, with savings over 30%, they're the cure.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
It's tough out there, and it takes hard work to succeed. You know it, we know it. At Bradford White, hard work is in our DNA. That's how we build the best water heaters right here in America. Bradford White, how you heat your water matters.
Meineke is celebrating over 50 years with full synthetic oil changes for $59.95, plus free tire rotation. We'll also check tire pressures and brakes too. For tires, brakes, batteries, exhaust, and more, trust Meineke, doing car care right.
The Flyers family, and in fact the entire hockey world, recently lost one of its pillars. Bernard Marcel Parent arrived in Philadelphia in 1967 as a 22-year-old and the franchise's first selection in the expansion draft. Today, he stands as one of the city's true sporting icons. Bernie's on-ice achievements alone were enough to cement such status. He had what many consider to be the two best seasons an NHL goaltender has ever had in 1974 and 1975. He led the NHL in every major statistical category for netminders upon returning to the Flyers for the 1973-74 season and route to the Flyers' first Stanley Cup, picking up the Conn Smythe Trophy for playoff MVP along the way. He followed suit the next season by once again claiming the Stanley Cup along with the Vezina and Conn Smythe trophies. It was once famously said only the Lord saved more than Bernie Parent. Ask any of his championship teammates, and they will tell you there would not have been Stanley Cup glory without his spectacular goaltending. His jersey number 1 was retired by the Flyers shortly after an eye injury prematurely ended his playing career in 1979. He was elected to Hockey's Hall of Fame in 1984, the first Flyer to be so honored. He then moved into coaching, where he served as a mentor for several Flyer goaltenders, including Vezina winners Pelle Lindbergh and Ron Hextall. But beyond all of these tremendous accomplishments, Bernie may have made his greatest impact away from the rink. A friend to all, his gregarious personality and charming mannerisms made him an ideal ambassador for the Flyers and his adopted home of Philadelphia. To spend a minute with Bernie and not have a smile on your face was a rare occasion indeed. Bernie often ended his description of events in his life, his love of his family, his teammates, and Flyer fans with the phrase, "It's a beautiful thing." As it turned out, his was a beautiful life. The Flyers and NBC Sports Philadelphia send our condolences to his wife Ginny and his entire family. Bernie Parent, a true Flyers legend. His legacy will live forever.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
NBC 10 News at 11, your reason to stay up.
For breaking news in the moment, straight from the NBC 10 Live Center, immediate coverage you count on.
Right now at 11.
We're asking anybody with information.
Family says they've gotten no answers.
With the most accurate forecast for your neighborhood, 10 years in a row, certified by WeatherRate.
And the local stories that can't wait until tomorrow. From the largest news, weather, and sports team in town, NBC 10 News at 11. Coverage you count on.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Jesse Owens was an Olympic legend in track and field, but he couldn't outrun lung cancer. It killed him at age 66. My grandfather died too young, and Black Americans are still at higher risk than others for getting lung cancer at a younger age. Plus, the cancer is likely to be more advanced by the time it's detected. Find out if you're at risk. For more information, go to this website and ask your healthcare provider how you can win the race against lung cancer.
MS does suck.
MS mucks with your central nervous system, almost everything about your body.
MS took everything from me.
Always taking away. You never get anything back.
Despite MS, I will keep riding my bike.
I will continue to live the life that my daughter expects me to live.
I won't let MS change who I am inside.
I'm going to keep being me.
Welcome back, NBC Sports Philadelphia. We are gearing up for the second period here of some intermission and preseason action here in the Wells Fargo Center, and talking with Sean Couturier at Media Day, gearing up for his 14th season here with the Philadelphia Flyers, reaching nearly 900 games played here in Philadelphia, talking to him about the importance of learning about Coach Tocchet, the relationships, the conversations, starting them in the offseason and the preseason here, and why that's so important to the Philadelphia Flyers.
I think he's looking to develop each guy personally. Obviously, we're not all the same type of players, but I think he understands that as an ex-player. I heard him say in an interview about the shooting area and the facility that we have, how it's amazing, and for coaches it's something to rave about. So it's fun to hear when you have a coach that seems to really want to push each guy individually to their best and unleash their potential.
He was telling us, Coach Tocchet, how he's making the time to call you guys, Zoom calls, getting to know each person. What is that like on a phone call, that getting to know you process? I think people always look at it as it's a coach-to-player relationship, but is he just kind of getting to know you as a human first?
When you're talking to him, you just feel that he's actually listening to you and trying to actually understand you and get to know you. We've talked over the summer a few times, and it's been good conversations, sometimes serious, sometimes not as serious, and it's all good, I guess, for building our relationship.
I always respect the organization's honesty about this rebuild, about how long it's going to take. You see a lot of teams, I think, try to speed it up, where this team's been really honest where they are. But with you 15 years in your career, do you feel the pressure that you want to get this done at some here this season?
For sure. I mean, I'm not 20 years old anymore and have 15 more years in me to try to win. So I definitely want to win a Stanley Cup before I'm done playing. So it's all part of the process, rebuild and all that stuff. But I think at the same time we have to start having bigger expectations of ourselves and start hating losing and wanting more and wanting to win and be competitive, and like I've been saying, just take it to the next level and be in the mix here, because it's all right, we're young and all that stuff, but next thing you'll know, you'll be on the older side, and you won't really have been anywhere.
You hear it there, Sean Couturier wanting this Flyers team to take the next step and be in the playoffs and contend and really dive into this Philadelphia sports town. Still a top-line centerman all these years later. Sean Couturier, not his first rodeo here with some preseason action. Stay with us here, NBC Sports Philadelphia. The second period is on the other side. JJ and Boosh, they'll be back with you next.
This could be another Super Bowl year, simply because who are you going to stop?
He's doing things that general managers around the league should be doing, but they're not because they're worried about saving their jobs.
Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL.
Cheers to local goodness. Farm Fresh Lehigh Valley Dairy is always creamy, wholesome, and packed with high-quality protein. It's simple goodness, fresh from the valley. Lehigh Valley.
My heart is yours, dear, and your nights won't be lonely, and I promise this forever. Just take my hand, and my heart is yours, dear, and just take my hand, darling.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy, it's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax, it always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Certifiable, a good thing when it comes to weather. Only one team is certified most accurate 10 years in a row. Who's keeping track? WeatherRate, analysts who compare all forecasts to what actually happens. Just so happens that NBC 10 First Alert Weather get it right more than anyone. Your neighborhood, your weather, more on point, period. No matter where you are, certified most accurate. Who else can say that? No one. NBC 10 First Alert Weather. Count on it.
Tonight's second period on NBC Sports Philadelphia is presented by Cadillac. Visit your local Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Flyers with a 1-0 lead as we get set to start second period action at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Flyers fans, stream your team all season long when you're on the go with the NBC Sports app. That's presented by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. It's all about streaming these days, Bush.
Yep, it is.
You can stream your Flyers.
Guy who was, I guess, streaming in that first streaming was Nikita Grebenkin. I thought he had a real solid first period. I mean, you can see his ability to protect pucks and make plays in tight areas. 3 shots on goal for Grebenkin in the opening 20, and nice little outside-inside move on Scott Mayfield there that leads to a real good scoring opportunity. And as we mentioned in that first 20, a guy that's really played his way into the conversation to make this team out of training camp.
Good size, 6'2", 209. As we saw with that move and several times in that first period, he certainly can get to where he needs to and has a lot of energy too. He's a very humorous individual and still learning the language. He and Michkov together now can help each other with that process. As we're underway in period number 2. Travis Sanheim to Cam York. Head ahead to Tyson Forster. Try to go cross ice, but that's knocked down by Lees. Quickly checked by Brink. The Islanders are able to fling the puck deep into the Philadelphia zone. There is Sanheim. Up the wall. Brink tried to flag it down, but the Islanders have it instead. Romanov. And that one deflects out of play.
Flyers season ticket memberships for the 25-26 season are available now. Get exclusive benefits, concessions, and merchandise discounts, new rewards, and more. Join the team. Text plans to 61259 to learn more.
Sean Couturier looking forward to this season as he has now gotten past the, let's knock out, what does I say this, the back-to-back basically procedures on his back, and also of course had some issues with deployment last year. Times he was scratched, times in the 4th line in the wing for a spell. The Flyers plan on playing him in the middle this year. As moving on up, here's Pulock all the way in, the shot, and that one stayed out. It rattled around, but Ersson got enough of it to keep it out. And so the defenseman for the Islanders with his sojourn there. Grebenkin knocks the puck into the New York zone. Pelech is back. Seems like we've been saying Pelech and Pulock for about 15 years, but they're actually both in their early 30s. They have been quite the duo back there in the blue line for the Islanders. Michkov, left wing feed. Tippett cutting to the middle. Waits, holds, and then fires. The save made by Sorokin. Got it with the stick. Zegras poked it free, but it dribbles right back to the Islander goaltender.
Well, Islanders were a really good opportunity here to start the second period, and it comes from the back end. Ryan Pulock, fake shot, kind of freezes Grebenkin, then gets to the middle of the ice, and a real good save by Ersson as he's able to stay with him, and Pulock not really able to elevate as Ersson gets across, and fortunately the follow-up by Holmstrom doesn't go either, but a real good opportunity for the Islanders early on.
Islanders chop the puck out to center ice. Heineman got it down the ice, and now Anthony Duclair is there. Center, Michkov in good defensive position, broke it up, and the Flyers fail to clear. Mayfield fires one that's blocked by Sealer. So he's in midseason form. Nick gets a block. Had over 200 blocks each of the last 2 seasons. Here's Michkov moving up, waiting for some help to arrive. Guides it into the middle, but Zegras just failed to come up with that. He'll swing it around the other way for Michkov. He'll let it go back out to Drysdale, who stuffs it down low for Zegras. Tips it quickly to Michkov. Tried to back his way and got it back to Zegras. Flyers are changing some personnel as it goes back to Yinning at the point. Now it's Zegras. Pass across for Zamula was tipped. Yegor will reach for it and spin it back down low. Zegras after it again. Out to the point, Zamula. Zamula wrister blocked by Duclair, and that goes out of play. Let's look at the changes made by Danny Briere in the offseason. Arriving, of course, head coach Rick Tocchet and a completely new staff, save goaltender coach Kim Dillabaugh, who is a holdover. And then the players, Trevor Zegras, Christian Dvorak, Dan Vladar, who will get to start Saturday, and 1A or maybe back up to Sam Ersson, we'll see. Gulbenkian we've talked about, and then the two veterans on defense, Noah Juleson and Dennis Gilbert. Bush, they're not playing tonight, but chance for both of them to still make this team as well as a depth defenseman, or maybe part of that third pair.
Yeah, obviously with Rasmus Rista lining out until it looks like November, you know, an opportunity on the back end for a little bit more depth, and you can never have enough defense depth in the organization.
This play there by the Flyers, then the arm goes up. Penalty coming up against Philadelphia as the stick went flying, and a tripping indication from referee Garrett Rankin. So the Islanders will get their second power play of the game.
Penalty number 19. 2 minutes, tripping.
Hathaway, one of the penalty killers that's used quite a bit by the Flyers. They're diving for the puck, gets tangled up with Cizikas. You can see why Hathaway was pleading his case that he didn't believe it was a penalty. Diving to go for the puck, but trips up Cizikas, and the Islanders with their second power play.
Flyers scored on the Islanders' first power play. Short-handed tally by Sanheim. They break up the play here, and Couturier will send it down the ice. Schaefer, the just turned 18-year-old, will run the power play here as he starts up. Banks it back to Barzal. Barzal with some speed through center ice. Gains the Philadelphia line. Swings wide. Sends it around the kick plate. Back out toward Heineman. He's bumped, but got the puck deep. Duclair will jab it back toward Lee. Sanheim got to him. The puck back up the wall. Couturier knocked it free momentarily. Konecny trying to dig it out of there. And then taken down was York. No call there. The puck will bounce to Heineman, who fires, and that one hit either the stick of Ersson or the post and deflected out of play. I believe it was Ersson.
Yeah, it went off.
Sound of it.
Yeah, it went off the shaft of Ersson's stick. You know, one thing that stands out as we look at this save by Ersson on Heineman right off the shaft right there and goes out of play is when I'm looking at the penalty kill, to me, looks very aggressive. Looks like the pressure points working together, knowing when guys are jumping. Even on the first goal that the Flyers scored, Dvorak, you know, was very aggressive on that half wall, led to a turnover. If teams are going to beat you playing that way, they're going to have to make 3 passes in order to make it happen. But so far in this game, I really like the aggressiveness on the penalty kill by the Flyers. It's really not allowing the Islanders to set up.
It's a little bit more like their penalty kill 2 years ago.
Right.
Flyers scored all those shorthanded goals. Last year they were 20th on the kill, only 4 shorthanded goals. Didn't seem quite as aggressive. There's a tip in front and they score. Wow, silky mitts there from the newcomer, Max Shabanov. And a power play goal for the Islanders ties this game at 1.
Well, on the setup in zone, the aggressiveness of the penalty kill was doing a terrific job. So if you're the Islanders, why not try it off the rush? And that's exactly what happens. The Islanders able to make a play off the rush. Shabanov able to get to the middle of the ice. Siplikov with a nice little area feed and a beautiful redirect by Shabanov. And I got to be honest with you, as a goaltender in particular, you don't expect plays off the rush on the power play. You often expect them to come in, enter the zone, kick it back, get it set up. So sometimes that can be surprising, but it's a reminder that you've got to be ready for everything when shorthanded as the Islanders make a good play off the rush.
Patrick Roy, I'm sure, very happy to see Shabanov produce. He had no points in 3 preseason games. He's a pretty big signing for them. Only a 1-year deal at close to the minimum, but after a great year in the KHL, he was highly sought after. We believe the Flyers were one of the teams seeking his services in the offseason, and they're going to need him to produce. And he certainly showed some good hands with that redirect. Here's Cizikas. In fact, he's been very noticeable in this game. He's had the puck a lot, trying to make plays. Here's Cizikas. Back out, point shot, Romanov, and that deflects out of play.
I agree with you, JJ. I mean, he's been a noticeable player in this game. Another look at the Shabanov goals. Holmstrom, a beautiful backhand cross ice feed to get it to the other side, and then Siplikov recognizing that Shabanov is driving that center lane and needs to just put it in an area, and pretty good hands to redirect it over the shoulder of Ersson. Islanders desperately need offense in their lineup, and they're hoping that Shabanov can be one of those guys that you didn't think about maybe last year and come in and help out offensively.
Islanders 1-2-2 thus far in the preseason. Flyers did not get that puck out of the zone, but no harm as Cam York comes up with it and gets to Sanheim. Off the stick of Dvorak and into the Islanders zone. At the way around the other way, Delorier tracks it down. He'll reverse. Sanheim right back in along for Dvorak. Goes across to Sanheim. And now York. York cutting to the middle of the backhand. And the save made by Sorokin. Dvorak tried to twist it back in front, but it was knocked down by the Islanders, and they charge up with it. Lee fumbled it at the line, and that causes the play to go offside. Some frustration from the Islander captain. Golf legend Gary Player talks about returning to the site of his 1962 PGA Championship win at Aronimink. His thoughts on Philadelphia area golf and more, all on the latest Takeoff with John Clark, presented by Makefield Putters.
Good opportunity here for Cam York. I like this. I've seen this in the preseason. York really getting involved offensively, jumping in plays, and that's the next evolution to his game, right? Getting more comfortable offensively. Good opportunity there. Good save by Sorokin.
There's Drysdale. He was checked along the wall by Holmstrom. He has to go back to center to get to it. Yeah, I mean, I think you'll see with expected to get some power play time, maybe in the second unit. That will help as well. There's a shot by Seeler that deflects wide. Islanders trying to clear. It stays in the zone. Now it's out. And Pajot gathers. Across he comes. Romanov on the money to Holmstrom. That play is offside at the Philadelphia line. Islanders have responded. Flyers took the play to the Islanders early on in this game, Bush, but Islanders, I thought, had a strong finish to the first period, and they're so far so good here in the second.
I feel like the last 5 minutes of that first period, the Islanders started to find their game, and obviously getting the goal by Shabanov here in this second period. You know, the importance of Shabanov to be a hit with the Islanders. Their farm system for the Islanders, not the strongest of farm systems. They didn't have a lot, obviously, in the trade for Brock Nelson. They picked up Callum Ritchie, a former first-round pick of Colorado, but by and large, pretty thin down on the farm. So getting a guy like Shabanov to come over who played pro hockey in the KHL, super important that he gets comfortable right away and can help chip in offensively.
Islanders expected to be one of the oldest teams in the NHL, but with the addition of Schaefer, that's going to lower that average age quite a bit if he makes the team. And Shabanov and Ritchie would also help in that area. There's a shot by Yinning that's smothered by Sorokin. He gathers and hangs on. We'll take a break. Islanders and Flyers tied at 1.
Christina Ladd posted at McDonald's, thinking about how I never had a snack wrap, and I'm devastated. Imagine tasting the snack wrap for the very first time. In ranch or spicy?
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Visit nopaycarrier.com and get comfortable with no interest financing, plus other money-saving incentives.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Eat like an early riser with an iced coffee for $1 and pair it with a bagel sandwich.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We are back here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Tie game, some Flyers preseason action, and Trevor Zegras, the new guy, has a personality that everyone is really going to get along with here in Philadelphia, and you can tell he's already really comfortable with his new team, so much so that he has given his new head coach, Rick Tocchet, a nickname, Taco. Coach Tocchet says he has no idea why his nickname is Taco all of a sudden during camp. Trevor Zegras just started calling him Taco on the ice, and it has stuck. Trevor Zegras recently told ESPN that the nickname came from actually the Hughes brothers calling Trevor Zegras, saying, hey, how's Taco doing? And for some reason, JJ and Bush stuck around.
I'm not sure that the coach really likes that nickname, but so far it's kind of stuck. Like Doc told me right away, don't keep that one going. So, hey, I know Rick Tocchet. I watched Rick Tocchet as a player. Bush, he's Toc to me.
Yes.
No Taco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to me as well. On a good day, maybe I'll try Taco, but if it's on a bad day, I'm not even going to try it.
That's right. Make sure he's in good spirits. I really suggest Trevor do the same with that. Here is Sanheim playing the puck into the Islanders zone. But Trevor Zegras does have just an electric personality. He's got a couple buddies on the team, and York and Drysdale. He seems very comfortable. Islanders center that puck, but there's Matvei Michkov. He'll float one out through center. He was checked there, but Tippett will hoist it into the Islanders zone. Boquist backbeat half the way to the puck and got it to Anders Lee. His pass intercepted by Tippett, bounces off of his shoulder and then to the corner. And Lee, realizing his mistake, is diligent to move that back to Siplikov, and now Boquist as they move to center. Boquist to Barzal. Philadelphia line, but offside was Lee, and so the whistle stops.
Well, as we look at Trevor Zegras, this is a great opportunity for him, JJ. I mean, you really think about it, you know, things kind of went sideways for him in Anaheim. You know, part of it was the style with which he plays. The other part of it was injuries. I mean, let's be honest. The last couple of years, he wasn't healthy in Anaheim. New coach came in, and, you know, they drafted, you know, more centers, and it became more difficult for him, but he gets a fresh start here in Philadelphia, and this to me is the perfect situation. He's in an organization where they need centers, they need talent. He brings all that, plus he's got personality. I expect him to get comfortable right away and really show what he did in his first 2 seasons in the NHL, and that's a high skill level and the ability to make plays not only on the power play but also 5-on-5. A great opportunity for Zegras here.
Last year, 57 games. The year before that, he had the knee surgery and played only 31 games. So really, he's played what? 1 full season,
right?
Pretty much over the last 2. So
yeah, and in his first 2 years, I mean, his first year, you know, he had 61 points, or really not his first full year, but his second year, and then 65 points the next year. So this was on teams that were, you know, not very good in Anaheim, right? That he faced some tough matchups, yet was able to find ways to produce. But I think the adversity that he's faced early on in his career is only going to serve him well. And just a perfect opportunity for him here in Philadelphia. And I think the perfect coach to be with him, to help him navigate the next chapter in his career.
Certainly will help the Flyers in shootouts. As Forster trying to get that puck in the blue, and Ryman, he's 13 of 21 in his career in shootout attempts. That's the best percentage in NHL history for anybody who's taken at least 20 attempts in the shootout. And with Sam Ersson so good in shootouts, the Flyers suddenly, I think, should be a very good shootout team. They were pretty good last year, 6-3, and I think they could continue that pace or better. And that can really help you if you're in a battle for a playoff spot.
Yeah, I mean, not a ton of games get to shootouts much anymore, but the Flyers seem to be in a lot of them. Yeah, they seem to be in a lot of them last year. And you get a guy that can get you on the board right away. That kind of helps, and then you get a goalie who's good at it, and those points do add up.
Pajot after the puck for the Islanders, checked by Zegras. The puck bounces free. Tippett picks it up and pushes it into the Islanders zone. Bullock is right there to play it. 9 minutes into this second period. Tied at 1. Not a lot of shots for either side here in this second, as Shabanov now will bounce that one wide of Ersson. As he move out of the reach of Tippett with that pass, he'll get another crack at it, and Yegor will lift it out to center. Sent back in it. Here's Yinny. I'm so tempted to say Yamula now. Gotta work.
They've morphed into one.
Yes.
One human being.
Well, if he's Yinning, then isn't he Yamula? No, he's Zamula. As the puck goes ahead. And now it's played in. That was Ritchie, the youngster for the Islanders, checked by Yinning. They come together again. Yinning physical on him. He's been that way with pretty much everybody who comes into his territory here in the camp. But now getting out in front of the Islanders, the pass across ice from Duclair did not connect, and then he is hammered by Delorier. Duclair, though, back up, centers it in front. A swing and a miss there by Heineman, but Islanders are back after the puck. Schaefer kept it away from Michkov. Now the puck to the other side. Dvorak tried to get to it. It deflects off the side of the Philadelphia net. Dvorak will clear, and that one will go down the ice. Not enough steam for icing. As the Islanders go back to retrieve. They pass it in the second half of regulation time in this one. As Mayfield races up with it, the veteran defenseman. All the way back out to McLean. Goes cross ice with it. Wide open is Mayfield. He'll blast. And a save by Ersson up high with that one. Shrugged it off. Comes back out. That shot by Romanov is blocked. Islanders with some attack time here. Zamula up the wall. Nobody home. It's Romanov, but Hathaway checks him. Now McLean. Back along. That's tipped away, and Hathaway will charge up with it. Got it Hathaway up the right wing. Is cut off by McLean. Tries to power through, but the puck in their skates. Dug out of there by the Flyers and Grabenkin. Will go back to the point. Sealer right to Drysdale. They're paired again as they were late in the season last year. Back to Sealer looking for a seam. Gets it back, connecting the shot, and he scores! Grabenkin again providing some traffic in front. Wound up with a goaltender's stick in his skate. And the Flyers end up with a goal. It's 2-1 Philadelphia.
Well, some good patience initially by the Flyers when they get the puck in the offensive zone. Grabenkin's the guy that's able to hang on to it. A little bit of poise. Flyers in the middle of a line change. Eventually Konechny comes onto the ice, and the traffic in front by Grabenkin doesn't allow Sorokin to find this puck. As Konechny alertly gets this puck to the net quickly on the feed from Sealer. So good poise initially by Grabenkin to start the play. Then good traffic and going to the hard areas, and Konechny able to put that one home to give the Flyers the lead once again.
First goal of the preseason for Konechny, who is 2 away from 200 goals in regular season NHL play. So he'll be looking for a milestone early in the season. I think even if they were checking that for goaltender interference, that Rebecca was outside the crease. Sorokin's stick got tangled up with him, and the Islanders come right back and score. Anders Lee, the captain from the slot, beating Ersson. And so, just 15 seconds after Konechny had given the Flyers the lead, Islanders tied back up.
Yeah, you almost get the sense that Ersson was thinking about something else here, like maybe something up top, up high. Islanders able to win this puck in the corner. Lee's in a good spot, perhaps a screen by one of the Islanders who comes through. It's Pulock. And that doesn't allow Ersson to maybe see it, but it just felt to me like Ersson was expecting something up high, tried to be patient on his feet, but Lee able to slip it through the 5-hole and tie this thing up.
Those are the kind of goals you'll have to avoid when the games start counting. They're backbreakers. Siplikov, a shot, save made, but then Siplikov gets the puck back. Goes off a skate, one-handed ahead, but right there is Lee to send it back deep into the Philadelphia zone. York ahead. Forster is checked. Lee for Barzal. Back to Lee. One-hands it in on goal, and the save made by Ersson. And there's Lee, a man possessed right now. He had a bad turnover early on. Ever since then, he has been flying there inside, and then got it out in front. Schaefer comes in. His break was unable to clear. The Cates line, a rare shift, bottled up in their own zone. They lift it out to center and down now, and Schaefer will play for the Islanders. To Mayfield. And ahead. Lindstrom never got to that one. Zegras ahead. Here's Tippett. Tippett cutting in back to Zegras. Zegras tried to center, but it was blocked off. Michkov waiting for that on the other side. Never got to him. Pajot up the right wing. Puts the puck in. Zamula after it there. Tippett digs it out. Shuffleboards it ahead. Looks for the return, but it's broken up. Pajot will twist it back down low. Yinning over there with Zamula. And it's Pajot back out to the point. Boquist walking the line, drops it back. Pajot this way. He's got Romanov. And now Boquist back out to Romanov. Cross it goes. As Joe, center point from on off. Now the shot from Boquist hit a body in front and rattled wide. As that one nearly found the net off the ricochet. Now Holmstrom back out. We got a penalty coming up on the Flyers. Shot there deflected, the save made by Ersson, but the hooking minor is signaled. So the extended time in the offensive zone leads to an Islander power play. Goals at each end. Konechny for the Flyers. Lee for the Islanders. Deuces are wild.
Love slots? The DraftKings Casino app's got you covered. Come to Papa. New players play $5 and get 500 total spins on Huff and More Puff. Plus, get a first day replay up to 1,000 in credits.
Here, champions aren't born, they're built on fields, in care settings, in every moment that matters. So it's game time, where every detail is executed with precision. Everybody locked in. We all have a role to play. And we've got one goal, to care for this community. Because everyone here deserves the best.
Hey Eagles fans, shop for your local Acme wearing your Eagles gear on game day and save 5% off your purchase of $20 or more.
Brought to you by Acme, the official supermarket of the Eagles.
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
All tied up at 2 here at Xfinity Mobile Arena. The Flyers face off against the Florida Panthers during the home opener presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar on October 13th. All fans get a Flyers home opener t-shirt. Tickets are on sale now at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. The third penalty of the hockey game for the Flyers as Zamula gets tapped on the shoulder for hooking. And the Islanders 1 for 2 on the power play go to work.
The Flyers penalty killers getting work here tonight, not the power plays. The Islanders have not committed a penalty. Here's Hathaway, stopped by Schaefer. Lee will dump it back, and the Islanders will get set up. Heineman back to Schaefer, and the 18-year-old roars up to center with it, plays it on the right wing. And look at the numbers from last season. The Islanders with the struggles, as we mentioned, in the power play. Flyers there to middle, but now they're getting another chance short-handed, and it's Dvorak again. Nobody to drop the puck to, takes it in. Oh, Sorokin somehow made the save. He was fooled, but somehow able to get a body part on it, or a piece of equipment at least, and kept it out. Here's Barzal the other way. And they get set up quickly as Schaefer will drop it back to Barzal. Now Lee. Barzal again. Flyers sitting back a bit more here as that attempt to get it to the middle, deflected by Yinning. And he pokes at the puck there. It's Barzal to it. Takes a look in front, but Yinning cut him off. Now he'll flip it. It's perfectly placed to Heineman, out to Schaefer to cross. Duclair. Anthony Duclair, well traveled in his second year now with the Islanders. And that pass back, tipped away. Another chance for the Flyers. Konechny was stationary though, and Heineman able to beat him to the puck. As he went back. Down to 23 seconds remaining on the power play. Konechny also at the end of a long shift, so not a lot of gas in the tank right there.
No, but some good work there by Couturier and Konechny. Couturier, a good read, a good jump, and led to a turnover.
Now Ritchie into the Philadelphia zone, off for Shabanov. And back out to Boquist. Final seconds of the power play. Pelech to Boquist. Shabanov waits, holds, fires back to full strength. Out of the box is Zamula, and he will get it to the line and maybe just out. The puck skips ahead now to Forster. Tyson will nudge it into the Islanders zone, try to go to work at the forecheck. Roll free to Shabanov. 24-year-old, he'll turn 25 shortly. Get that puck through center. Here's Cam York back to retrieve for Philadelphia. Now Drysdale. Big season for Jamie Drysdale in the last year of his contract. Trying to fend off Cizikas. Goes across to York. Turnover there. Puck picked off by Mark Gatcomb. And now Romanov a shot that did not get through as Drysdale was there. Into the Toyota RAV, 4 minutes to play here in the second period. A 2-2 hockey game. Tippett takes a spill as the puck goes to the corner. And now it's Cizikas for the Islanders. Long-time Islander, now 34 years of age. Dropped it back, and Bullock will move it ahead. He's got Gatcomb dropping it from McLean. He'll take a shot deflected. Save made. Harrison went off a flyer, and Harrison reacted well. Now Tippett hesitating. The Islanders are getting to him. They'll drop it back. Now the Islanders will change, so some time for Drysdale. Off Konechny and into the New York zone. And there's an arm up. And a slashing call indicated. We will tell you more about that when we come back. 2-2. Dvorak trying to give the Flyers the lead back. Sorokin had other ideas.
Dear crew, with an adult-sized third row, everyone's welcome. From sports fans and eco buffs to movie fans. Slip in, stretch out, and let's go. Toyota.
Get great offers on your favorite Toyotas like RAV4, Sienna, Highlander, and Grand Highlander. Shop online and visit your nearest Tri-State Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
With Amica Auto Insurance, it's not just about where you're going, but who you go with. We're customer-owned, and we look after what matters most to you, together. Get your quote today.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $12,000 on this Sierra 1500 model. That's 20% below MSRP.
2 second period goals for the Islanders have made this a 2-2 hockey game. Philadelphia Flyers, download the new Philadelphia Flyers app. The only place to manage your tickets, get the latest news, and take advantage of exclusive special offers. Scan the QR code or search Philadelphia Flyers in the App Store. Penalty on Kyle McLean slashing gives the Flyers their first power play of this game.
There sits McLean. Power play for the Flyers. The numbers aren't all that good, 3 for 20, but it's looked better here in the preseason than it was last year. You'd hope it would be. Zegras should help in this. He won the draw. And they're just going to say do it over again. For a moment I thought interference would be called, but Zegras working on his face-offs. He's consulted with Sean Couturier about it, and it's an area of his game that obviously he needs to improve on if he's going to play center. He gets tossed here. There's Coots, who's a good guy to try to get some of the tricks of the trade from. Flyers, good job to recover that puck, but then Pajot takes it away from Konechny and moves up with it. Jean-Gabriel Pajot, one of the better penalty killers in the NHL, got that puck to Philadelphia ice. Michkov ahead. Konechny tips it. And Owen Tippett will drop it back to Konechny. The Flyers look to get organized on the rush. 3 minutes to go in the period. Here's Zegras. Off from Drysdale, turnover, look out. It's Pajot with a short-handed breakaway. He's got Pelech behind him. He'll wait, hold, give it to Pelech, and he scores. And so Pelech with a short-handed tally. And it's 3-2 Islanders.
You know, Flyers have trouble getting organized, getting out of their own zone and through the neutral zone. And a pass that, to me, Drysdale's got to handle or just chip it If he's not going to handle it cleanly, just chip it off the wall, get it in, and allow the Flyers to skate it in. Instead, he tries to handle it, mishandles it, and that allows the Islanders to go the other way. And a 2-on-0, not easy for a goaltender to come up with a save there as Pajot gets it to Adam Pelech, and he puts it away for the shorthanded goal.
Whatever you can do, I can do better, I guess, as Pajot says. I can drop it back to a defenseman for a shorthanded goal, too. Wasn't as fancy looking as Dvorak's shorthanded pass earlier. There's Couturier's shot. Saves Soroka as they made it through some traffic in front. And now the Flyers try to recover the puck. Forster stripped on the wall, and it's backhanded all the way down by Gatcomb. So 55 seconds remain in the power play. The Islanders have their first lead of this game. As York drops it to Brink quickly to Cates. Noah Cates gains a line, but again, one of those east-west passes right at the line, and it's deflected back. Couturier in. He's looking to go cross ice. Got it. York down low. Forster across. Cates, and he scores! Slam dunk. Power play goal for Noah Cates. And we're back tied, this time at 3.
Well, initially the entry was knocked down by J.G. Pajot. It was a good play, but the Islanders not able to get a full ice clear, and the Flyers able to retrieve it and get to work here as Couturier is able to get it to the weak side of the ice. Just a strong play to escape Pelech on the far side. And once he does that, it opens up the rest of the ice. And Forster with a real heads-up play as he finds Cates on the back door. An easy put away for Cates after the good feed. But to me, it all starts with Couturier's play up by the blue line. He draws Pelech to him, is able to protect it, makes a strong play, gets it east-west, and then that opens up the ice for Forster, and the Flyers able to put it away with a power play goal.
It is an interesting topic. Do you play that line as a line on the power play? The second unit probably. There's Dvorak, a backhander knocked down the side of the net. Why not? They're good at even strength. They'd probably be good on the power play too, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't typically think of Cates as your power play guy, but listen, I mean, the confidence that he played with last year and how he grew into it, why not? Why not give it a shot?
Hathaway trying to spring Dvorak there, but it was intercepted by the Islanders. 1:20 to go here in this second period. Each team with 3 now. 5 goals here in the second period. Romanov, he can throw big hits. He would have to Delorier right there. Got a piece of him. And now Schaefer. He was nearly welcomed to the NHL by Delorier. He likes to do that.
Yeah, Delorier stared him down after 2.
And now here's Konecny. Travis Konecny up the middle off of the left side. Goes off of Tippett. He'll pursue with Mayfield. Mayfield got there. Konecny then checks him. Heidemann bumped by Couturier. Puck squirts free just out of the reach of Konecny. Schaefer back. And now Mayfield will bank it out to center. Sealer has a bouncing puck to deal with. He's able to navigate it away from Heidemann and move it to Konecny. 28 seconds to go in the period. Konecny checked at the Islander line. And Heidemann takes it back. His pass to Holmstrom, and he'll wheel it into the Philadelphia zone. Pajot has it there. Pajot heading it off. Pulick all the way around behind. Back out Pelech. Cross ice Pajot. I was looking for a late bit here in the second. Pulick waits, holds, flips, save, Eriksson, rebound right in front. Another save on the rebound, and then it bounces back out to Pulick. He waits, and time runs out on period number 2 as the Islanders press to try to get the lead back. But we end the second period in a 3-3 tie.
And the Islanders with a strong second period as far as playing in the offensive zone. Pulick was around it all period long. It's that initial shot through. Eriksson seemed to pick it up late, and then time ran out as Pulick had another opportunity, but a couple of nice saves there by Eriksson. First on Pulick, then on Shabanov, and this thing's all tied up after 40 minutes.
Tonight's second period between the Flyers and Islanders was brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play to win with the PA Lottery. Visit PALottery.com or download the app today. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians. Intermission live is coming up. Ashley will chat with Travis Konecny, see what he has to say as we get ready for the season. And Bush and I will have our look ahead to the games that count. That and more coming your way in just a moment.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Thanks for walking us through the plan.
You guys heading up north soon?
Yeah, got Lizzie for a couple weeks this summer.
Taking her fishing, I hope. That's the plan.
Doors. Connect us to what's important.
Excited, sweetie?
A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. Backed by a team of specialists, your advisor helps you build a personalized, tax-smart investment strategy, identifying opportunities across your entire portfolio. And when life surprises you, your plan can change too. Because doors were meant to be opened.
Passion. It's what defines us as fans and bonds us all together. At Ron Jaworski Golf, our passion is delivering unforgettable experiences every single day. Our signature golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team strives to provide outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. See all we do at RonJaworskiGolf.com.
Watch this. Let's face it. What a time to be making a hockey show.
Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped.
Let them know what they're in for here.
Here we are.
How scared are you guys? How scared are you?
What keeps you motivated?
I think winning. I don't really know any different.
Welcome back. Tie game here going into the second intermission. I am here with Tyson Forrester, and Tyson back on the ice. I think a lot of people wondering if you were going to be ready for the regular season, much less preseason with that injury. How are you feeling, and how are you able to stay so ready to contribute like this in the preseason?
You know, you always got to be ready, but like you said, I didn't know what was going to go on with my injury, but, you know, I'm back now, and I'm happy to be out here, and I'm just trying to get my legs under me for the start of the year.
Yeah, and the regular season right around the corner. What have your impressions been about how the team has rallied around Coach Talk, and what are your expectations for the regular season?
Yeah, he's been great. You know, we've been doing a lot of teacher things. There's new systems and stuff, but, you know, the boys love him, and he's been great for us, so we're looking forward to the start of the year.
Awesome. Tyson, thank you so much for the time. JJ, send it back up to you.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. One more preseason game for the Flyers Saturday afternoon. New start time, 12:30, Flyers and Devils. And then the season opener down in South Florida Thursday night, a week from tonight. And Ashlyn's back with her buddies, Al and Artsy. We'll pregame live beginning at 6:30. Speaking of Ashlyn, she'll be back right after this.
Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be using this. Particle 6-in-1 Face Cream for Men. The first of its kind anti-aging cream designed specifically for men. Fights eye bags, dark spots, and wrinkles. Visit ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to receive 25% off your entire order. Plus, we've got free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. www.ParticleMen.com. Because seeing is believing.
At Pella, we believe expertise matters. Did you know that when you replace your windows and doors, there are different installation options? Every home is unique. That's why we offer methods like pocket and full frame replacement. When we inspect the windows and doors you're replacing, we'll assess which installation option is best for you and your home. Plus, our work is backed by some of the best warranties in the business.
Right now, get 40% off your installation or 0% APR for 24 months. 855-77-PELLA, PellaPhilly.com.
I haven't called their work ethic, their heart, their standard of play into question, not for a second.
Have that innate ability to make plays under pressure. It's the 4th youngest team in the NHL.
What a play here by Noah Case. Spins, backhander, he scores! My goodness! Oh, clears and scores!
Young team.
Form the spine. They're young centermen. They've got young wingers. The defense has a couple of really young players.
Welcome back to the Flyers preseason here on NBC Sports Philadelphia, and talking with Travis Konecny at Flyers Media Day. He's in this really unique position where he's not used to not being the new young guy in the room. He's taking on this new leadership role, especially with Matvei Michkov, and he's trying to balance wanting this team to get to the next level, win more games, get into the postseason, get into the playoffs, and contend for a Stanley Cup, while balancing wanting to succeed in his own personal way and be a household name here in the NHL. And of course, still working on getting to know his new head coach, Rick Tocchet.
You don't have to worry about the skate test as much in the summer. I wasn't sweating so much about that, but no, Talk, he seems like he's a coach that's going to be relatable. Like you understand where he's coming from. He's played the games that he gets us to. And then at the same time, like he seems to be light around the rink, but also when it's time to work, to put your head down and go to work. So I think it's a great fit for what our team needs.
And Coach Tocchet, he's been really honest, at least with us, the media, that I think there's this narrative that everyone thinks the Flyers need all these pieces to come here to Philly. Where Coach Tocchet's been like, actually, no, we have the tools, and I want to unlock all this potential. When he talks like that, do you think of you, or what steps can you take with this new coaching staff?
Yeah, I think that way every year. I think just from my small sample of conversation with him, I think for me the next step is just more of my leadership role and trying to also be a part of helping unlock some guys. And because like he said, like there's so much potential in that locker room, and guys have the tools of all the high players in the league that make teams good, and we have it. It's just a matter of finding consistency and being able to like help guys get there. And I mean, I look at this my 10th year, and I'm still trying to figure it out every year, how to be more consistent, how to better myself, 200-foot game, like a bunch of different things. So I think the most important thing for me is to look in the mirror first, figure it out, and then try to help some of the younger guys along the way.
Does it feel like 10 years? That's crazy that you said that.
I know. No, it does not. I mean, you hear it every year. It's an older guy who's kind of on his last swing at it, and they say enjoy it, it flies by. And I remember Voracek telling me that, Giroux, Simmons, like all these guys when I first got into the league. And now I'm kind of sitting in the same spot they were. So it flies by, and I think I'm just really blessed that I was able to be here this long and continue to be here this long.
10 years for Travis Konecny, also telling me at Media Day, you can only have so much patience. It is very clear. Travis Konecny, the leaders on this Flyers team, want this organization to get to the next step and win a lot of hockey games this season. And speaking of this regular season, stay with us here at NBC Sports Philadelphia. JJ and Boosh are talking about the expectations for this new year coming up.
Saquon, do you think you'll win the MVP this year?
I already have my MVP.
But the awards don't get announced until later. Well, what do you mean?
I mean, most valuable policy.
From who, Saquon?
Who do you think? Cure Auto Insurance. Take it from me. They're the cure.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
All right, locked in for this meeting. Total focus. Double booked? All good. Otter AI gives meeting notes and insights, even on meetings I can't attend. Dang it, I picked the boring one.
Otter, the AI meeting agent.
It's the biggest deal in breakfast, Dunkin's $6 meal deal. You get a medium iced or hot coffee, bacon, egg, and cheese, and 6 toasty hash browns. Dunkin's $6 meal deal is back.
The simple pleasure of a piece of chocolate, the healthy goodness of fresh fruit, and so much more. They're all connected by the Port of Philadelphia. At Philiport, thousands of men and women move millions of tons of products, adding billions of dollars to the local economy every year. From the time your day starts to the moment it ends, we connect you with the things that make every day happen. We're one of the nation's largest ports. We're your neighbors, and we make your day better.
NBC 10 News at 11, your reason to stay up.
For breaking news in the moment, straight from the NBC 10 Live Center, immediate coverage you count on.
Right now at 11, we're asking anybody with information.
Says they've gotten no answers.
With the most accurate forecast for your neighborhood, 10 years in a row, certified by WeatherRate.
And the local stories that can't wait until tomorrow. From the largest news, weather, and sports team in town, NBC 10 News at 11. Coverage you count on.
Heights has taught me to dream big. From the playground
to the classroom, Heights guides students on pathways to educational and workforce success.
Support Heights to help establish a more equitable and prosperous Philadelphia.
Heights is a driver of economic mobility, sparking a citywide movement, because investing in our youth of today ensures we all reach new heights tomorrow.
A birthday without her mom, an anniversary without her husband, her wedding day without her dad. These are the days when military families miss the ones they've lost most of all. Families never forget, and neither do we. We are TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, providing resources, support, and comfort to the families of our fallen military heroes, all at no cost to them. Show them your support at TAPS.org.
Flyers and Islanders tied at 3 after 2 periods at Xfinity Mobile Arena in this preseason action. Soon enough, 1 week from today, we'll be talking about the regular season, and Boosh, the games will start to count in the standings, and the Flyers trying to get back into the playoffs. Now, Danny Briere, Keith Jones, everybody has said that making the playoffs this year isn't like a go-to must-do as part of the rebuild, but it would be nice for some of these players to get playoff experience. What are the chances this team can compete for and maybe even grab a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference?
Well, I think competing for a playoff spot is something that is attainable. Can they get in? It's going to be tough. I mean, let's be honest. I think there are some teams in the Atlantic that have made strides that, you know, you might be looking at a 5-team Atlantic, which means 3 teams in the Metro. But I think they can compete. There's no doubt about it. And I think, you know, you go back to 2 years ago, they were right in the thick of it. Last year, not so much. So I think they can get back to that. I think with a new coach, new system, some elevated play from certain players, you know, I think the Metro is a division that, when I look at it, I see Carolina as the class of the division in the regular season. Then I see New Jersey with the talent that they have. And then I think the Rangers are going to have a bump. I think, you know, with Mike Sullivan, they're going to bounce back. And then after that, I think there's a bunch of teams that you lump them together. I mean, truthfully, I think the Flyers are in that mix, Columbus, the Islanders, and I'm not so bullish on the Capitals. I know the Capitals had a great year last year, but I'm not one that's buying it maybe as I should, because they proved me wrong last year. But so what does that mean? I think the Flyers are in the spot where they're playing meaningful games down the stretch. Can they get in? Of course they could get in. Is it a lock? No. But I think they're going to be playing some important games come the end of the season.
And you saw that there's other teams in the Metro with lots of change in the offseason as well as with these Flyers. Now, a couple of players for the Flyers. You know, we talk about the new Flyers in Zegras and Dvorak, and we talk about some of the young guys like Michkov, but you can't forget about a guy like Owen Tippett and another guy like Cam York. These are guys who are still relatively young players who didn't maybe have the season they wanted last year that could bounce back.
Yeah, Tippett to me is an interesting case. The way he plays, his speed, his physicality, the way he shoots the puck, you would think that he's a guy that can score you 35 goals, and I think it's in him. But how he fits with certain players, who he plays with, is going to determine how many goals he scores. I expect him to have a big year. He's a motivated player, and I think he has all the tools to do it. You know, to me, if he can score 35 goals, if he can help their power play, things are going to bode well for the Flyers. And for Cam York, I think he's a guy that injuries hurt him last year. He's going to have more responsibility this year. I think he's going to have a breath of fresh air for him. I think it was a struggle between him and John Tortorella. There's no question about that. I think he's looking forward to a fresh start. He could benefit from all of that.
How we look forward to it all beginning a week from tonight in South Florida. For now, we look forward to the third period when we come back.
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
When seconds count, accuracy matters. That's why we built Storm Ranger 10 for you. To get closer and lower to severe weather than any other radar. To see details no one else can in real time. To keep you prepared and your family safe. Neighborhood by neighborhood. Storm Ranger 10, driving the region's most accurate forecast. On air and right now on your NBC 10 app. Count on it.
If golf's your game, Inside Golf is your show. For 28 years, we've toured courses all over the tri-state area. You're meeting the movers and the shakers, from major winners to weekend warriors. Inside Golf is keeping track of what's hot and what's not. Inside Golf, a weekly fix on NBC Sports Philadelphia. If golf's your game, Inside Golf's your show.
For me, I've always wanted to be a meteorologist ever since I was 2 years old. I grew up in Northeast Philly, in Somerton. I remember waiting for my mom to come home from work, and then I would present the weather forecast. My first mentor in meteorology was Glenn Hurricane Schwartz. He really taught me how to be meticulous and dig into the little details. I love this area, but it's different when you're forecasting for your friends and family. This isn't just a job to me, this is my home. Listen, you can get your forecast from anywhere, but the most accurate forecast comes from us. Count on it.
Tonight's third period on NBC Sports Philadelphia is presented by GMC. Visit your local tri-state GMC dealers. Deadlocked at 3, the Flyers and Islanders in preseason game number 6 for the Flyers.
Take a look at our Toyota Camry turning point of the game. Came late in that second period. Great play by Couturier to hang on to it, and then some beautiful passing after that. Couturier doesn't get an assist, but he started it. Cates puts it away. That ties the game at 3. And that is our Toyota Camry turning point of the game.
Maybe another turning point or two in this one. 3-3 game. Flyers trying to level their record at 3-3 in the preseason. For those of you who worry about that, I don't think the coaches worry too much about one-loss records in the preseason. Cam York right out in front of his own net. It was a turnover, and Lee jammed away at that puck, and it was knocked aside. Comes back out. Boquist across. Romanov flips one. York will knock that down and start the Flyers back. The pass to Brink. He'll swing it deep into the Islanders zone. Worcester tied up in the corner. The puck rolls free, and there is Lee again across to Siplikov, who's got a couple of helpers in this game. But play is stopped on the offside. And so we go stargazing for the first time this season, courtesy of the fine folks at GMC. Let's look at the evening for Travis Konecny. Pretty consistent there. 1 goal, 1 shot, 1 hit, 1 block. In 11:36 of ice time, Konecny, Travis Sanheim were very vocal last year on the postseason breakup day about, hey, it's time for us to take more steps in terms of maybe getting to the playoffs. And you can understand that they're getting into their late 20s now, and they haven't been in the playoffs now in 5 years, so they want to get back there. But again, from an organizational standpoint, it's all about making progress this year, seeing guys like this guy, Nikita Gurbenkin, take steps, and seeing who is part of the rebuild as we move forward. As Danny Briere said, the subtraction part of the rebuild over. Now, probably additions. If the Flyers are in the race come trade deadline, I don't think you'll see the Flyers trading off players as they did 2 years ago and a little bit last year as well. Here's Couturier with a shot, fended off by Sorokin. Now, if they're out of the playoff race, they, of course, will add assets.
Right.
So
yeah, the players determine that. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I understand what those guys are saying. I mean, it's frustrating to be looking at going to the World Championships all the time, right? You want to be playing in the playoffs, but at the same time, Danny Briere knows that it's not about just getting in. It's about getting in and having sustainable success year after year. Exactly. That's the goal, the long-term goal of management, but also hearing the players. Danny's an ex-player. He gets it. He understands the frustration. So they're trying to work in concert to make sure that this is one where they get in and they stay in for a long time.
Danny Briere was a player with the Flyers back when that was the case. The Flyers were regular playoff participants and not just one and done. They were making runs, including to the finals in 2010. Then the Flyers set an NHL record for making the playoffs and missing the playoffs in 10 consecutive years. It was in and out. That's not what they're building for here. They're, as you said, building for consistently in the playoffs. That shot by Boqvist batted wide by Ersson. Jet Luchenko and Rodrigo Abel's not dressed tonight. They're still with the team. It'll be interesting to see. There's really only one cut the Flyers have to make remaining. Here's Hathaway in, centered it. Jabbed wide by Dvorak as he was a little too deep. Poked that one in. The Flyers down to 24 healthy bodies. You can carry 23 as of Monday. You have to get it down to 23 or less. Turnover and a quick shot there went wide from Bobby Brink. Not sure if Sorokin got a piece of that or not. So really the Flyers don't have to make many more moves. They could make as few as one more move to get to 23, or they could carry 22.
Yeah, and the injury to Rasmus Ristolainen allows for, you know, a little bit more time to think about what you want to do, right? You can keep another defenseman around, or you can go the route of, you know, keeping Jet Luchenko around. And these are decisions that the brass has to make.
Luchenko's case, of course, complicated. If he does not make this team, he cannot play in the AHL. Next year he'll be able to, perhaps, but not this year.
Yeah, and it's too bad that rule is not in place this year, because I feel like he's a guy that would be ready for the American Hockey League. It's a bit of a gap year for him. But at the end of the day, I mean, I want young players playing lots, getting a lot of touches. To me, that's more important than, you know, playing 12 minutes a game. You just can't get those times in your life where you can be a go-to guy like that and develop. You just don't get it back. I mean, there's no other league that you can do it in. So if you can go do it in junior, but give him the time here, you've got the opportunity to keep him here for a while. And who knows, if there's injuries, that things can change. But that's my thinking early on with Luchenko. He's going to be a long-time NHLer, and you gotta look at it from the long lens.
There's Sanheim to Konechny as the Flyers try to apply some pressure and get the lead back. You kind of forget that Jet just turned 19. He's still a very young player. Sanheim off for Bobby Brink. Brink escapes the checking, back out Sanheim down low into the slot, trying to cut to the middle was York, but the Islanders with active sticks break up that pass, and now York will just wind it back in as the Flyers begin to change. Luchenko probably coming off his best game in the preseason in Boston on Monday night. Really noticed his speed, especially early on in that game.
Yeah, Rick Tocchet had talked about him wanting him to be more a shot first guy, more assertive. It's tough when you're a young kid. You know, you're trying to please everybody. You want to make sure that you're making your line mates happy, but certainly a way more assertive game in his last one.
Zamula's shot there, batted away by Sorokin despite the screen of Brink. Now Zamula across, getting the shot, and the save made by the Islander goaltender. Brink to the slot. He was checked and lost it. Zegras gets it back. Trevor Zegras turning with it, and he'll shuffle it back down low, hoping for Brink. Brink gets there ahead of Pajot. Brink waits, turns, takes it back around behind the net. Bobby Brink protecting the puck as best he can. Changes direction again on Pajot. Walks in front, and then just lost control as he was about ready to get a shot off. Now Yinning for Zegras, and out to Yinning again. Drops to Zegras. Flyers have changed some players. Here's Tippett across. Zegras to Yinning.
I'm saying that puck came out. Yinning took it out. Yeah,
just a little bit of a delay on the call. So I thought he got away with it, but he did not. So a face-off in center. All right, time to check in on our countdown to opening night, presented by Fidelity Wealth Management. The Flyers starting the regular season 1 week from tonight in Sunrise, Florida, where the Stanley Cup was won against those Panthers. We'll see the Panthers twice, the President's Trophy winning Winnipeg Jets, and the Carolina Hurricanes in their first 4 games.
Good tests early on, right?
Those will be tests.
I do like the home games, though.
After that, yeah.
Yeah.
After the first 2 on the road, There's just one more road game, I believe, in October in Ottawa. Flyers will be largely at home. They're off to a good start to the season. We'll see. Delorier or Dvorak get into the Islanders zone just over 6 minutes into this third period.
Haven't seen Cal Ritchie in a while for the Islanders. I don't think he's on the bench.
That's the last thing. If there's one objective in these last couple preseason games for both coaches, it's that. Everybody stay healthy. Mayfield will send it all the way across, and that's taken by Schaefer, nodded by Hathaway. Hathaway's another one of those guys who looks for a rookie. He looks to give him a hit.
Make him feel welcome.
That's right. A proper welcome to the NHL. Here's Owen Tippett picking up speed in across the line. Swings wide, threw it to the middle. Hitchcock got his stick on it, but no more. And it's taken back by Barzal. Barzal reaches his way into Lee, all the way across behind Siplikov with that offering. Siplikov back across, and now the shot and the save by Ersson off of Romanov. And the Flyer goaltender hangs on. We'll be back.
Christina Ladd posted at McDonald's thinking about how I never had a snack wrap, and I'm devastated. Imagine tasting the snack wrap for the very first time. In ranch or spicy?
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks. Like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Grade 19! Grade 19!
Grade 19.
Boom! DraftKings Casinos combining two things I love. Touchdowns and bonus rounds. We're going deep with 1,000 slots and counting. We're talking spin moves everywhere. Jackpot, baby.
New players play $5 and get 500 total spins on Huff and More Puff, plus a first day replay up to 1,000 in credits. DraftKings Casino, the crown is yours.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Eat like an early riser with an iced coffee for $1 and pair it with a bagel sandwich.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Tie game here, third period, getting ready for Flyers preseason, and I know Gritty is ready for the regular season. He always is. You have so much to say, and I know you have met new head coach Rick Tocchet. He really seems like just a normal guy, right? Especially, I had lunch with Rick Tocchet getting ready for the regular season. He told a funny story about getting to know the Flyers players.
Delorier, I love Delorier. He comes by. He comes flying in there. We're talking. They're scared to come in. I'm like, who cares?
Coach is in the hot tub.
Like, there's coach in the hot tub. I don't know. Like, I'm like, I'd rather them come in and say, hey, get out of the, hey, coach, it's our time.
Us.
Yeah, so, anyways.
So Coach Tocchet definitely getting along with his new players. We had lunch with Coach Tocchet. You're going to see it in the first Flyers pregame live next Thursday. Two parts of that interview. You also can see it on NBC Sports Philadelphia's YouTube channels. JJ, sending it back up to you.
Ashlyn, be honest now. Who's more fun to talk to, Gritty or Toc?
Well, Gritty doesn't really talk, but he's very nice to be around.
That doesn't answer the question.
He's a
who's
good
more
presence.
fun to talk to?
I'd rather hang with Gritty.
That's what I was waiting for the answer to be, but Ashlyn's too polite to do that. There, you look forward to that. Regame live. There's Couturier with a shot that Sorokin denies. Konecny back down low. Grabenkin trying to bank that back through to Couturier, but the Islanders knocked it down, and it'll slide out through center ice. Both teams changing here as the Islanders are back for the puck. Adam Boqvist, Columbus Blue Jacket, among other teams, got that puck off a stick into the Philadelphia zone. Sealer back for Drysdale, ahead for Forster. Full board to center ice for Tyson. Off of the right side for Cates joining. He'll turn back with it. He's bodied by Gatcomb, but poked it free to Forster. Forster will play it down low. Here's Sealer in from the point. He's ridden to the wall by McLean. Turns away from him, though, with the puck. Sealer around behind the net. Sealer wraparound right. Save, rebound. shot, and digging away was Cates, but it did not go. Nick Seeler's good for that kind of bid toward the net once in a while.
Yeah.
Just make his way in.
Cates wanted the puck. Seeler called him off, said, no, I'm going to take this and jam it. Almost went off Cates' skate in on the other side.
Dvorak with a bid from the angle. Zamula pokes the puck, keep it in his zone, makes its way all the way through. Brink in front for Dvorak. It was deflected. Then Dvorak tried to center, and that was knocked down. Dvorak still doing good work behind the net to free that puck up, but now Heineman was bumped by Zamula. Mayfield to the puck. Now Mayfield, another longtime Islander in his 10th year. Moves the puck to Barzal. He roars out to center ice around a couple of Flyers, but met by Moore as Delorier is there and the play is called.
Well, experienced Flyers hockey like never before with club seats at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Enjoy the best sight lines, in-seat food and beverage service, access to exclusive events, and more. Text CLUB to 61259 to elevate your game. Good opportunity. Here's the work by Seeler. Gets by McLean. Cates wanted it. Seeler said, no, I'm taking it to the net, and it almost goes off of Cates' skate on the far side. Near miss as it goes on the outside of the net. Some good work down low by Cates and company.
Not sure if it was intended, but post play, Nick could have said, you wanted it?
Yeah, I'll give it to you on the back door, yeah.
Off your skate. There's Pelech trying to get away from Michkov. And he'll lob one towards center. Zegras is right there to tuck it back into the Islanders zone. And now the stretch pass to the Islanders to Holmstrom. Back across for Pelech. Ahead for Shabanov. Maxim Shabanov blows a tire. The Flyers have the puck. Sanheim ahead for Tippett. He weaves his way toward the line. Backhands in and goes after it with Pulick. Michkov to it. But he was quickly checked in well to get that free to Zegras. Back to Michkov. Michkov hands off to Zegras in tight quarters. Right back to Michkov. And now it's Zegras again. To the point, York. York this way to Sanheim. Sanheim will play it down for Zegras. Fights off a check. Looking for an option. Only to be met by Peugeot. Shrugs him off. Zegras then centered it in front, but right there was Pelech, who for years has been intercepting passes like that. One of the better defensive defensemen in the NHL, and he clears the zone.
You can see how that line, though, or at least Michkov and Zegras can work in tight areas, right? Make little plays. I know that was towards the end of the shift, and perhaps Zegras is a little tired, a little hope play out in front, but they've made some plays in along the wall and in the corners.
There's Konechny dropping it off for Drysdale. His shot not much on it, and cleared out by Boquist. Siplikov in center, and he'll play it to Boquist, who knifes his way in, then delivers it to Lee. Swatted deep by Romano. Bounces in front, and right there was Barzal, but Harrison with the answer loud and clear to the corner. Couturier tips the puck. Grebenkin trying to catch up to it. It's poked at by Sorokin and then cleared out of there by Romanov. Couturier back to it, trying to get it in front for Brink, but that was broken up, and it's Barzal the other way. At Barzal, holding, waiting. Flyers trying to get back as the Islanders change. Mayfield shot blocked. Oh, it whiffed by Harrison, or at least he didn't get much of it, and set back in on goal by the Islanders. Sam able to cover up. He was certainly ready earlier with Sam Harrison. Is this puck deflected free to Barzal? No, sir.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $12,000 on this Sierra 1500 model. That's 20% below MSRP.
You want certain things in life. You want well for your family, you want well for your kids, you want opportunity. The people that call us suffered a tragedy. They need someone to step up for them, to help them put the pieces back together.
Lawyers with the resources and experience to fight for you.
Getting results is what we do.
Wapner Newman, the correct call.
We're happiest when our pups are happy. And we're not satisfied unless they're satisfied.
Come on in.
Satisfying them at mealtime can be equally tough.
Every pup parent knows that food is love. We know when they're happy, but it's not always clear when they're healthy. At least now we can get their food right every time. With Ollie, you never have to sacrifice happiness for healthiness again. It's not just good food, it's the right food. Save on your first box at ollie.com.
Flyers hockey on NBC Sports Philadelphia is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota has 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. That's more than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Beautiful shot of Philadelphia. This 3-3 game. The guys break down the final position battles as the opening night roster takes shape. Follow your team all season long with Joe and Jordan on their Flyers Talk podcast. There's a shot that deflects free in front. Hyman was there but could not get it toward the net. 8.5 minutes remaining in the third period of this game. Flyers, both of their wins in the preseason have been with extra time. In fact, they've both been shootout wins. I told you they'd be better in shootouts. I'm not so sure they want to see another shootout here. Oh, Harrison flicks that one out of there as he had some Islanders coming his way.
That's preseason. You may as well practice it as much as you can, right?
Yeah, what do they have? 12 or 13 rounds against these guys, the Islanders, when they met up at UBS Arena. And it wasn't like nobody was scoring. I think both teams had at least 2, and then Flyers got the last one for the win. Might have been 3 each, and then the players scoring. Here's Couturier ahead. Grebinkin dropped it back. Sanheim twirls it down low. Konechny got it back to York. That pass into the middle when Sanheim was off the mark. Retaken by Grebinkin. And they pull it, and I didn't know it. And here is Konechny. Out to York. Across. Sanheim the shot. Save. Rebound was in front, but tipped away from Couturier. Konechny gets it back into the slot. Sanheim leans into one wide. And now it bounces free. Sanheim's over there again. But that's cut off by Romanov. They did it again. Here's Cizikas turning with it in center. Played in by Pulick. And now Garnet Hathaway. One hands it ahead for Sanheim. Checked from behind by Holmstrom, but the Flyers still able to play that in. There is Pelech. Getting away from Dvorak. Pulick trying to help out his defense mate. Dvorak and Delorier get in there after the puck. Still try to keep it free, and they do get it to Hathaway. Hathaway turned back by Pajot. Tight checking here. Hathaway. And now it is Dvorak getting it back out to Yinning. Yinning with a shot, and that one's seen all the way by Sorokin. Makes the glove save and squeezes it.
Score the Artist Collective Series ticket package and get a ticket to the Flyers game on October 18th, plus a custom Flyers Oktoberfest t-shirt designed by local artist Keys Holterman, only at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. It's a cool looking t-shirt.
It is. So is that one.
Yeah, that's a good one too, yeah. The kids love Gritty, don't they?
Oh, they certainly do. Maybe more than Ashland, apparently.
That's for sure.
Ashland was having that conversation with Gritty with great trepidation. You could sense, what is he going to do next?
Please get that finger out of my ear.
There is Drysdale ahead. He's got Trevor Zegras. Turning with it. Again, protecting that puck well. Across for Sealer. Back out Zegras. And all he could do is just get that toward the net. It deflects wide. Tippett for Zegras. And now Zegras gets it back to Michkov. Michkov waits. Finds Sealer. All kinds of room. Fires. Knocked down by Sorokin. And gotten back by Tippett. But he couldn't get much on his shot off the stick of Sorokin. Battle for it again. Michkov deposited on the ice by Mayfield. Flyers get the puck. Tippett. And a weak shot in on goal. The save made by Sorokin. Sealer jabs it free. Flyers need a change. And so they will take one.
Again, some good plays in tight spaces by Zegras, Michkov, Tippett. Drysdale doing a good job of pinching down. A good shift there for that trio.
This will not be icing. It was deflected, so York has to play it. And it goes off his stick and down the ice. This will be icing unless Couturier can get there. He cannot. And so the face-off back into the Philadelphia zone. Owen Tippett has so much skill, Bush, so many great attributes, and that shows up when you start looking at edge stats. Top skate speed, right up there, well over the NHL average. She was among the league leaders in speed bursts over 20 miles per hour. He gets plenty of shots, and of course, those shots have a lot on it. And you see those numbers, you think 30 to 40 goal scorer, perhaps.
Yeah,
right?
And it's not to put pressure on a guy, but I mean, when you watch him, it's easy to see that this guy has the capability of doing that. I think a lot of it has to do with who he plays with and figuring out how he can play with other players where they get him the puck so that he can do his thing. Because I feel like a lot of the work that he does it on his own.
Offside the call at the Philadelphia line. Less than 5 minutes to go. Regulation time, I have to say. Tied at 3, and actually, we're going to stay right here. And you know what? They've changed their mind. And so can I change my mind. We'll be back.
Dear Savvy, who says you can't have it all? You've got the tech. You've got the drive. And now you've got Toyota value.
Get great leases on the Toyota Corolla family, like the sedan, hatchback, hybrid, cross, and cross hybrid. Shop online and visit your nearest tri-state Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
What's going on today?
They're filming a bunch of insurance commercials. So many mascots.
I don't need my insurance company to have one of those. I just want them to be there when I need them.
Hi, here's your imported nitrogen-infused water.
Bubbles are too big.
I went to film school for this.
At NJM, we don't do mascots. We do what's right when things go wrong. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Doors bring us together. A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors.
Can you sign this for me quickly?
She's so ready to take over. With a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth for generations. Doors were meant to be opened.
The RAV4 Minutes to Play is brought to you by Toyota. Visit Toyota.com to find your 2025 Toyota RAV4 today. Toyota, let's go Flyers.
Ah, the dulcet tones. Brian Boucher. Your voice hasn't aged at all. Oh, it might be the same recording from last year. Well, what can you do? Flyers fans, stream your team all season long so you can hear the dulcet tones of Brian Boucher when you're on the go with the NBC Sports app presented by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers.
It's all about consistency, JJ, from year to year, right?
You are level as can be.
Yeah.
How was your summer, by the way, Jude?
Oh, what a summer.
You got away a little? Actually, you didn't.
The shore, went back home to Rhode Island, played a lot of golf, a lot of beach time.
He told me you figured your golf game out, right?
Yeah, I did. Starting to hit down on it. Really compressing the golf ball. I like it.
Beware, though, just when you think you have that game figured out.
Too little, too late,
it
though.
It jumps up and bites you. Too little, too late for the PGA Tour, you mean? Or?
Well, I just, you know.
The senior tour?
No, that's not happening. I'm just talking about winning some matches, you know.
Oh, yeah. Get some profit. You can hit the golf ball, though. That I know. Anybody who can shoot in the 70s at Marion, or Flyers Cup gathering they had in September, can play golf. Here's Holmstrom.
Thanks, JJ.
I'm ruining it, though, because now you're handicapped. If you play anybody, you're not going to get any strokes.
Well, listen, I post all my scores.
Oh,
it's,
look out. Oh, fanning on a shot was Holmstrom. Back out, Mayfield shot, fended off by Ersson, but Pajot had time to get that out of his skates to get it back out to Mayfield. As we enter the Toyota round, 4 minutes to play here in the third. Shabanov tried to change direction on Sealer. He would have none of it. Pajot recovers, though, back out to Romanov. His shot blocked by Forster. Stays in the zone. And I'm able to get it out to the neutral zone. And sent right back in by the Islanders. They've outshot the Flyers 26-20 for the game. No scoring here in the second after, or in the third, I should say, after 5 goals were scored in the second period. Drysdale starting up. Left wing feed Tippett. Will bank it in. Go after it with Schaefer. Schaefer couldn't control it. Michkov centers. There's Tippett. Back out. Yinning. He set it wide on purpose. Zegras hammers away when it was blocked. Michkov got it back to Zegras. His pass into the high slot. Drysdale, and that shot hit a body. Schaefer able to maneuver it, and they do clear it ahead. And they find Duclair. The Philadelphia line. Duclair's pass to the area. He got Heineman, and he scores! Anthony Duclair with a fine setup for Heineman with 2:54 to go. The Islanders take a 4-3 lead.
Well, and this is the conundrum that you have when you put offensive players together. This lines look very good offensively, the Zegras line, but one play out and Drysdale gets caught and Michkov not able to cover for him, and it leads to a quick break after so many good things that they did in this period. A lot of good play in tight spaces, creating opportunities, winning puck battles, but you give up this one chance and it ends up in the back of your net. So you get the good with the not so good, and Heineman able to put that one 5-hole past Ersson on the quick break, and the Islanders have the lead here late in the third.
The former Canadian has his second of the preseason, and a fine pass by Duclair. The Islanders hoping he has a bounce back year. He was signed to a free agent deal before last season. Had just 7 goals and 11 points. Had to deal with some injury issues and some personal issues, so they need him back because, as we talked about earlier, they're looking for depth offensively. So the Flyers now down a goal with just 2.5 minutes to go in the third period. Sanheim out to set it, but right there is Pulock. He'll flutter it back in. Barzal, the other assist on that goal by Heineman. York pops this one out to center, but right there are the Islanders. Flyers having trouble getting through center here as the puck goes back in. Ersson will set it up. He'll look to the bench too as we tick down toward 2 minutes to go. Sanheim starts up. We got the Cates line out. Cates sends the puck in, goes after it, but Romanov beats him to it. The Islanders have an easy out to Holmstrom, and he'll tap it into the Philadelphia zone. Drysdale goes back. Reverses to Sealer. Sealer for Cates. Noah Cates, who has one of the Flyer goals in this game, off to Forster. There goes Ersson to the bench. Extra attacker on for the Flyers as they try to tie this back up. They'll try to get this tied for a 4th time. There's Brink slugging it into the corner. Islanders were there, able to play it, and they got it out to center. It'll bounce all the way into Philadelphia ice. Couturier back. Sean Couturier fakes blasting it in. Moves it in, right wing feed. Brink the shot, blocked. Bounces behind the net. Couturier and Zegras trying to free it up. Brink in there as well. It kicks free. Back out to York. York down low, hoping for Zegras. It sits there. Brink lost his stick as he went after it. Islanders will move it up. York knocked it down. But now Siplikov, the pass to Pulock. He's going to sail it all the way down and off the post. And no icing as Sanheim goes back to get the puck. 45 seconds to go. York ahead. Konechny across. Michkov drops it for Zegras. The overskating gets knocked out. Gets back up. Got it as far as Barzal. Barzal to Lee. He's got the empty net to fire it. It's off the stick of Drysdale and wide. Drysdale probably saved the game and gives the Flyers one last chance here. Konechny in. That goes to Holmstrom. Flyers get to it. Konechny back out. 18 seconds. Zamula to Drysdale. Drysdale to Michkov couldn't hang on. In the corner, Forster after it. And it bounces free, and the Islanders one last crack at the long distance goal. That goes off the outside of the post. And his icing as Zamula goes back. 4.3 seconds remaining on the third period clock.
I don't think the Flyers will utilize a timeout to give their guys a rest.
And they have.
Take a look at our game summary, how we got here. Short-handed, Dvorak, beautiful play to Sanheim, got the Flyers on the board. And the Islanders respond in the power play. Shabanov. Konechny made it 2-1, and the answer by Anders Lee quickly to tie it up at 2. 2-1-0 of their own. Pajot to Pulock, short-handed. And then on the power play, Cates tied it up at 3. And then here in the third period, the fast break, beautiful feed by Duclair to Heineman, and That's given the Islanders a 4-3 lead here late in the third period.
They are keeping the clock at 4.3 seconds, so that is what the Flyers have to work with on this draw that will come up to the right of Ilya Sorokin. Islanders looking for only their second win of the preseason. Both would have been on the road. They had not won at home yet. The Flyers had also not won at home yet in the preseason. This is only their second game here at Xfinity Mobile. Couturier against McLean on the draw. It goes to the wall. Konecny back. Drysdale waits, fires. It deflects to Mayfield, and that's it. The Islanders are able to outlast the Flyers. Get the last goal with less than 3 minutes on the clock. Heinemann's is the game winner. And your final is 4-3. New York Flyers drop to 2-4 in the preseason.
I'll look at our Chevrolet player of the game, and it's on the New York Islanders side. It's Emil Heineman. They're able to survive some time in their own zone, get the fast break. Heineman with the finish. Forehand, backhand, 5-hole. That's the game-winning goal. Heineman came over from the Montreal Canadiens. Had a strong game. 5 shots on goal for Heineman and the game winner. And the Islanders get out of here with a victory.
Flyers wrapping up their preseason slate Saturday afternoon as they welcome the New Jersey Devils to Xfinity Mobile Arena. Again, the start time for that one, 12:30. Our coverage. Actually, the game starts at 12:30. Coverage starting. Actually, coverage is starting at 12:30. There you go. For our entire crew, including producer Casey Finney, director Mike Mulligan, and my partners Brian Boucher and Ashton Sullivan, I'm Jim Jackson. Thanks for watching. Birds Huddle is straight ahead.
It is tough, you know, because you want to help contribute to the win, you know. Obviously, it's been a little tough, you know. Got the ball in the second half of the Rams game, not getting as many targets to help contribute. But, you know, it is tough. It's tough to stay engaged because we're on an island. You know, a lot of things have to go right. The ball has to come. Guys have to block up front, you know, and then we got to do our job and win and then make the play. So if you don't get targets, you don't see the ball for half the game, 2 hours, man, it's hard to stay engaged.
Welcome to the Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota. I'm Barrett Brooks. This is Jason Avant. This is a players-only edition. We're going to give it to you the way it's supposed to be. A.J. Brown yesterday took responsibility for what he posted on social media after the game. Explain his frustration. How do you think he can handle it, man? Because, I mean, you're a receiver, man. Give me your honest opinion.
Well, it's tough for A.J. Brown, but I tell you this, is that for him to go up and acknowledge that he's frustrated and not allow it to linger, give the Eagles a chance to be able to mitigate the circumstances with the media. I thought it was a good job by him. We'll get into A.J. Brown a little bit later.
We're going to get into it right now. And that brings us to our three-point stance presented by Toyota. Stance number one, the Eagles need to make sure they get Brown involved, man. How can they get him involved right now?
Well, they can get him involved with a few different things. One, you have to be more creative when it comes to the play calling. He needs to move more. You need to put him in different positions. If you watch the Rams or you watch the Bengals, you watch these really good offenses, they have guys that are switch releasing. They have him coming under on picks, guys helping A.J. Brown to get open. He's on an island right now, off to the left, off to the right. Defenses can confuse the quarterback, and it's an easy way to double him and or cloud his side to get him frustrated. So you have to assist him if you're Kevin Passulo. But I'll say this, it's a lot easier to talk about. Everyone's saying that A.J. Brown should just shut up and win.
Right.
Guess who winning helps? Winning helps the organization, it helps the team, it helps Jalen Hurts. But winning for a receiver, it helps you win a Super Bowl, but will it help you get paid? Will it help you come back to the team? At the end of the day, When it's time to sign a check next year or talk to Howie and your production is down, he can waive you. He can say, you know what, you didn't show the same stats you did before. So you have to have that fine balance. So AJ has kind of a point because it's about winning, but also he wants to stay around and be an Eagle, and he can't do that if he doesn't have the production.
Well, he is getting paid, though. He did sign a contract. He is getting paid. He's making about $30 million a year. But I think my biggest thing is we understand that AJ needs the ball, but I think people aren't thinking how, the whole dynamics of the whole situation is. He needs to get the ball within the framework of the offense. And right now, the framework of the offense is discombobulated right now. We don't know what's going on, I mean, we've got, times where, we can run the ball consistently. Like last year, we haven't had that yet. Yeah. We've had times where we can throw the ball consistently in one half. Yeah. That hasn't been done yet. So, I mean, it's real tough for this offense to really get going. So I'm anxiously waiting for what they're going to do. But, hey, let's go to stance number 2. And I think this will help him out more than anything. Don't forget about Devontae, too. Devontae needs to be more involved. Don't you think so, Jason? He needs to be more involved.
Well, he needs to be more involved, but again, there's only one ball, and you have to be able to block, and the offensive line have done a good job in pass protection for the most part. But Devontae will have his opportunities. He had Riley Moss this week, and these guys can cover. Riley Moss is no, scrub.
Yeah, right.
He was at Iowa with Cooper DeJean, right? He can play. So he's going to have one-on-ones, and they play a bunch of man-to-man coverage on the Broncos on the back end. They feel like they can cover anybody one-on-one. So Devontae had a big game the last time we played the Broncos, and I think he'll have a big game again.
That's
but
right,
we
he did.
need to feature him at times because he's going to have the one-on-ones without the bracket.
Well, when you talk about featuring him, I'm thinking the same thing, but it's not just featuring him, and running them tunnel screens and things of that nature. We run too many screens for him. I think he's one of those guys that he gets a lot more separation than most receivers in the league. His route running, his ability to go out there and get that separation, we get that. But do we have enough, everywhere else to do it? I think that would give a little more carte blanche to AJ getting the ball if we could go out there and really, feature him a little bit, or even feature Dallas Goedert. Give these other guys an opportunity to really be impactful players out there instead of just thinking, all right, we just got to make AJ happy. And I'm not saying that AJ did. AJ definitely is not saying that. He's saying he can contribute. He can help them be a great team if they allow him to. But, I mean, if we do get to these other guys, I think they can be okay. But, hey, we're going to go on my side of the block now. We did 2 receivers part. Let's go into offensive line part. Stance number 3. The Eagles will go as far as the offensive line will take them. And that's what I'm thinking. You said they pass block pretty well. I beg to differ a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the situation like, all right, they haven't been playing at the level in which we are spoiled at. These guys up front are one of the better offensive lines in the league. In fact, they're the #1 offensive line in the league.